Good evening, everybody. This is Steve Carmody, Commander. I am joined tonight with Fleet Captain John Hardy. Is that correct, John?
Yep, that's it, yep.
Fleet Captain John Hardy of the USS Alba. Captain Justin Fedzek of the USS Starkraken. Marine Captain Russell Camp, USS Battleborn. Captain Robert Bing of the USS Alba. And Sarah Rosenzweig of our New Jersey chapter.
Sarah Rosenzweig, CEO of the USS Avenger.
Well, okay, I didn't know. Anyway, so welcome everybody. This is your Trek After Dark. A little, let's see, a little different. So we're going to start doing stuff a little differently. We're going to, if you don't know, the associate producer of the After Dark and AMA is Russell Camp. He will be helping and scheduling. Wow, I just went bad. He's going to be helping and scheduling people to come on. Why is this not working? Hang on one second.
So basically, we're going to be scheduling people to come on. We've
Well,
had
to
some.
take care of that while I do this other thing real quick.
Yeah, we've been having a little bit of concerns with some people that have asked. We want to be on, but we're not necessarily on at the very beginning of the stream, or for whatever reasons, they're not getting. They're asking to be on, but they're not like first come. So what we're going to start doing is basically taking a list and keeping that list ongoing, so that we have people say, "Hey, we're going to have a stream this day. Are you good to be on?" See if we can rate them to bring on. And all you got to do is send an email to starfleetafterdark@gmail.com, which is kind of just a temporary email for the moment. Or you can direct message me on Facebook. If you send me a friend request, that works. But I also check my message requests pretty often now. That said, going forward, we're going to have basically a full board on After Dark. For the AMAs, in order to keep the AMAs on track, make sure that none of the questions in the chat are getting ignored. And for things like that, we're going to have a smaller panel. It's going to be the CS and 3 other people. Now, it can be anybody. It can be like today, we have a number of captains. We really want to keep on the AMA. We'd like to keep it to long-term veterans. We'd like to have ships captains, XOs, RCs and their staff, as well as executive committee members and their staff, even the academy staff and their deans. Basically people that are going to be able to answer questions that are posed to them. Because again, the AMA, while it is an AMA with the CS of Starfleet, at the same point, we'd like to take the opportunity, being that we have the availability of these people, to also have an AMA with some of the people that really nobody gets a lot of chance to talk to often, unless they're sending an email or they're applying for an academy course or they're contacting the help desk. Like, these are people that are working basically, in some cases, 10 to 20 hours a week for SFI with no pay, just because they love Trek and they love being part of this community. So
Definitely
going forward, we want to kind of appreciate them, but at the same point, we want to be able to glean their wisdom and get some information out there to the membership, as well as answer everybody's questions. That said, additionally, it's been voiced that we're going to have some problems with time. And what I mean by that is the time zone issues. We have 4 regions that are outside of the general realm of the United States centric time zone system. So we have DMT, GMT, which is basically regions 8, 9, 11, and 20, respectively. 20 being the UK and Ireland, 9 being South Africa, the rest of mainland Africa, the Middle East, and then region 8, which is mainland Europe, and then region 11, which is Australia and Oceania. So we're trying to figure out some ways going forward. The CS upon himself has taken it on to schedule one coming this Sunday, coming up in the next 3 days. We already have one guest that's already confirmed to be on it. Again, this is an AMA, so we're looking for veteran members. We're trying to aim for, some Region 20 people, because they don't always have, time like John over here to jump on, or Robert to jump on and talk with us. So we'd like to get some more of those people on there from Region 20, Region 6, or sorry, Region 8, Region 9, and Region 20, or Region 11. Kind of getting the numbers mixed up. There's so many more since the last time I was a member of Starfleet actively. So we feel that like we've been trying. And again, when we first started this whole streaming, it was kind of like a test to see, hey, let's see what we can do with this with the COVID crisis. Now we're starting to see the value in it, and we're trying to basically build it out into something that's more of a resource for the membership. And all I can say is bear with us while we kind of hit our bumps and find our way through the obstacles. Yeah. And we're definitely going to have growing pains, because
that's the only way. You have to know where they are and then forge your path accordingly.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, it would have been great if we had knowledge and plans, going forward, had everything set up in line before we launched. But the problem is, we're talking about a technology that really, I don't think, I haven't worked with it all that much. We do have experts among the membership, I'm sure, but it's not something that the people who started it really had a big, firm grasp of what actually we could do with it. And we're still kind of learning what we can do with it. So based on that, we're kind of trying to move forward with it to get it to the point where, this is something that people can count on to say, hey, we can go on and I can ask the questions I need to ask. If I want to meet some SFI members from, a completely other region and talk with them, that's what the After Dark platform's for. With that, I'm going to go back to the chat and give some good evenings to some people here. Good evening, Rob, Alex, even though you're in the other room over there on that
Hello.
screen.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Elizabeth, Mary, hello, Marcos, hello, John, hello, Stephen.
Hi, Mary.
Commander Whitehorse, how are
you?
And hello, Carol. Good to see you here. Now, the only thing is, on my side, I can't see who's actually online by comparison to who is posted in chat. So if you are online but haven't posted in chat, I can't see you. So,
Mary, Kane, I see you there. We need to catch up. It's good to see you, honey.
So
and
I think
Marcos did send a correction that Lieutenant Jackson served on the San Juan. Jim, the Admiral, is working on some stuff off screen.
Yeah. All right.
And whoever's playing that, thank you. I miss baseball.
Same here.
I'm in here.
It's mine.
I don't know what this baseball is.
Thank you, John.
What is some of this
American sport,
sorcery?
similar to cricket there, Robert.
What team? What team?
San Francisco Giants.
Cards.
Nothing wrong with the Cardinals.
No. Fishy standing man.
So what is the baseball thing going on?
That is the tune for the 7th inning stretch.
Unfortunately, baseball was not my sport. I was a lacrosse fan.
I've
was
only seen
track
lacrosse
and
in
field.
movies.
Track and field.
While being British, I have always wanted to go to Boston to see the Red Sox.
Fenway Park is one of the iconic ballparks in baseball. So yes, I encourage you to go see Fenway Park.
See, me and a few people were planning to dress as redcoats because we've got a couple of friends over in America. So we're planning to run through the streets of Boston and Massachusetts with a couple of paintball guns, but I don't think it would have went down too well.
Not with the paintball
Likely
guns,
not.
but it would have been definitely hilarious if you had somebody yelling in front of you, the redcoats are coming.
Well,
I need
I'll
to
be
measure
right
that.
back on here. I'm doing something in the background for the studio, so give me just a second. Russell, you go ahead and change that.
Yep.
All right, give me just a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, one of these days you're just going to see this news article of a Scottish man trying to fish out what was left of the tea in Boston Harbor.
No, I'll
Hey,
fish out that tea.
We were
I'll
just
fish out
trying
the
to clean
tea.
the water. Have you seen the water in Boston Harbor?
I mean, I'm not going to be political, but we'll take you guys back who want to come back under the crown instead of what you've currently got. I
we're
will
good.
welcome. I'll speak to my government.
We're good. I think we're good.
Yeah.
We'll forgive the tea, but we may ask for the tax.
Yeah, the tax. Yeah,
We'll
so
make
you're
him
gonna have
pay the
fun.
tax. How
You're gonna
about
have
that?
to get. Let's do this. We jump back. You got to get it from the IRS.
Oh no! I mean,
There it is.
even as somebody across the world, across the sea, even I know not to go near the IRS.
Yeah,
Good choice. Good choice.
Bad news.
Robert, don't you mean the wee little pond?
Yeah, we little.
I mean, I tried to swim it once, but I got as far as 2 meters and then realized that I'm lazy, and then turned back.
But it is a wee little pond in the grand scheme.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's relative. I mean, it's only 4 or 5 hours different. Well, about 4 hours difference between the UK and the US now, at least EST.
Yep.
Which makes this 4 a.m. journey slightly easier.
Yeah, only so slight though.
I mean,
I have the Concorde still.
I have been on the Concorde actually. There's one of the last remaining Concords in the Scottish Aeronautical Museum, and that is.
I was about to say I thought they decommissioned the whole thing, but
Yeah, no.
did.
And I have to say, it's the most disappointing plane I've ever been on. It's so boring.
Really?
Yeah, like you'd think the Concorde would be you think supersonic jet, but then you realize how old the Concorde is. So when you get it's very cramped. It's not very luxurious. Actually, there's one of the last remaining Concords in the Scottish Aeronautical Museum, and that is.
Vice Admiral, decommissioned the whole thing. But...
Yeah, no. I have to say, it's the most disappointing plane I've ever been on. It's so boring. Yeah,
We're having a repeat going on.
The Concorde would be you think supersonic jet, but then you realize how old the Concorde is. So when you get it's very cramped. It's not very luxurious. Actually, there's one of the last remaining Concords in the Scottish Aeronautical Museum. I love this time of my own voice. That's it.
Sarah, are you doing okay over there?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Yeah,
We're having a repeat going on.
I've been very sick.
You think supersonic
no.
jet, but then you realize how old the Concorde is. So when you get it's very cramped. It's not very luxurious. Actually, there's one of the last remaining Concords in the Scottish Aeronautical Museum. I love this time of my own voice.
Sarah, are you doing okay over there?
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. I've been very sick.
Can we have you turn
Can you
off
hear
your
me?
video, please?
You can hear me?
We can hear you as well as hear the video
Very
playing
sick.
again.
Oh,
That was cursed. I'm never going to speak again after that.
Hi, Sarah. Who's talking to me?
hi. I've been
Good
very sick.
evening, Alvin. Can we have you turn
Can you
off
hear
your
me?
video, please?
I'm hearing feedback audio, and it's just feedbacking and getting tinny, and it's starting to get painful.
Do you
Yeah,
have
it's-
you have headphones?
That was
It's coming out of your head. It's coming out of your
I'm gonna turn off the video. She's
and
watching.
then coming
Who's
through.
talking to me?
Sharon, do you have headphones, honey?
Yeah, I was about to say, Cher, you
There
want to
go.
have.
How am I
only-
coming through now?
Oh,
Yeah, I was
perfect.
say you only want to have this window up,
Okay, that's
not
what
also
I
the
have now.
Facebook one.
Yeah, I just turned the other one off.
She
Thank
doesn't
you.
have the worst one ever. The worst echo ever I remember was on the one I was on. We never figured out who was doing it, but it was like they were watching 3 of them because we would hear the
Yeah.
same thing like 6
That's
times
just-
in a row as it looped. And it was,
Yeah.
and I think John was on that one too with me. And I was like, what is going on? Like,
I think the only
Sorry,
reason
folks.
that
This is my
wasn't
first time here.
more painful.
no, you're
for
fine.
Me. It's
Welcome.
okay.
Like, it happens.
It's okay. The one I remember more painful. The reason it's not as painful for me is I've lost some of my hearing, so it's just like, yeah, that's painful, but yeah, I used to hear really well. Oh, okay. So, Cher, are you doing okay?
I'm doing
It's
fine.
on its way, Steve.
Sad to hear that you're having problems.
C'est la vie, darling. C'est la vie.
No, not really. Get well. Okay.
Develop a cure for all of my crap and we'll be good.
And
Well,
Russell,
at
I
least
think
you're
it's
not
fun.
infected. I got tested and I'm negative. Woohoo!
Good for you.
I've been tested twice, but I'm still running high fevers.
Oh God. And you're negative?
That went down the wrong way.
I would say
Pardon
go
me.
see a doctor quickly.
Cher, I've been seeing my doctor via telemedicine so many times, it's not even funny, honey.
All right, so I do apologize. I was trying to get something fixed on the back end. So, welcome to Rear Abner Cher. I don't know her last name. It's always been Cher S on there.
Chef
Cher Slay, she's been on the Avenger.
Okay, Cher Slay. So today we got some bad news. Starfleet had its first COVID-19 death. And as you see, Lieutenant Himmelis Jackson of the USS San Juan, we have her up here. It's always hard when you lose someone you all care about. I remember talking to her. She sent me a message and said, "Hey, you don't know me, but I voted for you, and I wish you luck."
Wow.
That was the extent of my conversation I had with her. But when I talked to members throughout the fleet about her today, she was extremely active in her chapter. She was extremely active in the region. She had over 200 courses in just the last few months at the academy. So she was very active in the academy. Granted, we've never met, but like I've always told everybody, Starfleet is like a big family, so it hits all of us. I mean, it's hard.
It is.
With her leaving, it leaves a void that's going to be hard to fill. I know the crew of the USS San Juan is watching. You guys are in my thoughts. If there's anything that the EC or the AB can do, please reach out anytime. And I do have an announcement. Let me see if it's in my email yet. It's not. Okay, so I'll just do it, and I'll have to email it to the CO of the San Juan. So effective immediately this date, Lieutenant Himmelis Jackson here is hereby posthumously promoted to the rank of captain. Effective immediately. She's also the recipient of the Gold Command Star. The Gold Command Star is for outstanding service to the fleet, her chapter, and her region. So as of this date, she has been promoted, and it is in the database. She has been posthumously promoted to captain. We can't. Obviously, this is a fan club. It's a nerd brigade. We can't really do much to honor somebody, but this is my administration's way of honoring people that serve the fleet who have passed on. So it is my honor to bestow her the rank of captain and issue her command star. And the command star is the highest award that is given by the commander of Starfleet. So I will have that to the CO, the San Juan. As soon as I get it, I will send it over. Please give it to her family if you'd like. And like I said, if there's anything we can do, I'm always available.
Woohoo!
So congratulations. I know it's hard, guys. I've lost friends, especially close friends. I know you guys knew her better than anybody in the fleet. So I mean, like I said, if you guys need anything, just reach out, and I'm always here. So, let's see here. Give a shout out. We have the entire crew of the USS San Juan watching. Welcome, guys. Greg Mortensen, Mary Simmons, Kane, Jim Landis, Robert's here, John Rogers, Jason Tyranny, Carol Thompson. What is this? I've got the IGs here, Glenn McNeely, Alex Rosenzweig. Welcome, guys. So on this episode of Trek After Dark, we are not really doing. We're just talking. I had other stuff planned today, and then this happened. So it really hits hard. and it still kind of bothers me. And what I wanted to do was not. I decided we're not going to do it tonight.
That's a very good choice there, Steve.
So the crew of the San Juan, she has been put on the Fleet Memorial page at the rank of captain. So if you go to Starfleet SFI.org and you hit on the Fleet Memorial site, she's there. Her name has also been sent to DJ O'Brien, and she will be announced at the final mission this year.
And that happens at IC?
That happens every IC. Every IC we have.
Everyone.
We have a final mission, which I don't know how they're going to do it this year because DJ O'Brien is not going to be able to get out there. My understanding is that, I mean, it's hard. So, like, my XO is John Rogers. We lost somebody on our chapter, and her name was Nicole Crum. The thing that actually hurt the most with Nicole, she has an identical twin sister, Erica, and they were both on my chapter.
Ooh.
So, and that was kind of the hard thing. So,
yeah,
I can relate, guys. I understand. It's hard.
That final mission gets harder and harder every year.
I've taken part in 3. And then I did 4. I'm sorry. I did a final mission at Region 2 Summit. And that was my first one is CS.
I want to, if I get to come down to Tallahassee, I want to participate in somehow because Todd was at the end of 19, so he'll be on this year's. And yeah. That one has been hard. It gets harder and harder.
Yeah, it does. It gets harder. I mean, it's hard when you hear people throughout the fleet that you don't know, but you knew their name. But it's even harder when it's somebody you knew.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
I'm a big
one
boy.
Thing that doesn't get easier.
I'm a big boy. I don't cry often.
I agree.
When they announce Nicole's name at final mission, I'm 6'5", 300 pounds. I cry like a baby.
I like what Mary said about maybe we need to zoom the final mission at this year's IC.
We're going to have to do something. We'll have to do something. Even if I have to sit down in front of a computer and announce the names myself and do something special, I'll do it. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But I mean, guys, I mean, you've got to be careful with this virus. I mean,
it is no joke.
No, it's not.
No, it's awful.
I mean, I'm a pain in the butt. I always said if it happens, it happens. I've made my peace with God. But, I'm a stubborn old fool. That's what my daughter tells me. I've got 4 kids. I've got custody of my 2 teenagers that live with me, and I wouldn't know what to do if something happened to me. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't want that on my kid. So you guys have got to be careful. Wash your hands.
Alex
everything.
is, compared to me, Alex is very, very healthy, and I'm going to just be kind of bare here for a minute. Alex may have to go back physically into work next week. I am not emotionally prepared for that because we don't have a viable way to treat this. And if he gets it, he will bring it home to me, and it could put me in the dirt.
Yeah, and that's why everyone has to be very careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to make sure you guys are wearing your mask. I mean, like I work at FedEx, guys, and from the time I walk into that terminal to the time I leave that terminal, I have a mask on. I have
and people whine so much about wearing that mask, or I see improper use of masks, or like they'll have it just covering their mouth, and I'm just going, you have no idea. You have no idea.
I think
you want to go do your fucking rally? Okay, sign this AMA so that when your ass gets handed to you, PPE and other things are not wasted on your ass because you feel infringed.
Yeah. And with the masks, the thing to remember the masks is that it's not a barrier to stop you getting disease. It's a barrier from others getting it. Because the unfortunate thing about COVID-19 is that a horrific percentage of people that have had this disease have been asymptomatic, which is fine because they don't, suffer any consequences. But the problem is with people being able to pass it on when they're asymptomatic, which is unusual for a disease. It means that without you even realizing, you could potentially pass it on to your grandmother. You could pass it on to a disabled person, somebody whose immune system isn't going to be able to bounce back.
That's me,
And-
because
yeah.
I cannot tell you the number of times, because I'm largely a housewife. I admit it. But my health is so to the point where he won't be sick, but he will bring something home to me from riding the train, and long enough to carry it home to me, I will get sick by that point because it's in me enough, he will then get it. But it didn't originate from me. It originated from him because he's the one that leaves the house. I'm sorry, Alex. It's just the way it is. I hate it.
Remember, guys, the question was just asked, how is Hooper doing? So Captain Hooper out of Region 1 was he got tested positive for COVID-19. So did his toddler son. They have both been it's about 18, 19 days now. They've been moved to they're in recovery now. I talked to him today. He's good. His son is good. So just remember, guys, especially when you all go to Walmart, if you guys have gloves on in your hands and you're taking your hands inside your mask and you're scratching, you're readjusting anything that's on your hands now.
Or drinking or messing with your phone. Those masks are not for you because so many people touch mucous membranes. Those masks are not for you.
So, welcome, Jay.
Basically, just treat everything as though anything could potentially have COVID on it. I mean, it's important when you get home to wash your hands, to sanitize, but it's also important in certain respects with any item that you take with you to also sanitize it. I know, this is a fairly new thing, and people people use their phones instinctively. I see it myself. I do it myself. Nobody's perfect. If you're like me and you wear glasses, you touch your face all the time. You're trying to overcome God knows how long human evolution to try and beat this. But treat your phone as though that phone is a carrier of the disease, because it very well could be. Because if you wear gloves, you touch your phone, you take the gloves off, and then you touch that phone, you're contaminating it. People don't seem to understand that.
Yep.
Cross-contamination.
Whatever
That's all I have to say.
Now, if you have a fairly modern, say like a modern Samsung, a modern Apple, always check with your manufacturers. But some of these phones are waterproof. Follow your device's care plan. Obviously, don't recommend you dump your water dump your phone into a tub of water.
What's called a phone sanitizer, where it's putting your phone in a UV light to kill things.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. But even soap is very effective. This disease isn't resistant to soap or alcohol. So even if you wipe down your phone, yeah,
I regularly wipe my phone down with alcohol because
And the thing with gloves, we don't recommend. I mean, obviously follow whatever your government recommends, but we don't use gloves here because the gloves are kind of counterintuitive. Because the thing doesn't go through skin,
and people don't know how to properly take off gloves.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that it's a false positive. People are getting overconfident. Same with the mask; they're touching themselves. They're using the gloves. Just be careful. If you're disposing the gloves, search on YouTube. There's specific ways that surgeons use, that doctors use to dispose of gloves in a safe manner.
Yeah, and you pull with your gloved hand, pinch here, pull, and with those fingers still you get, and then you pull. And
I don't know how to emphasize this enough, because I've seen it both here and across the world. If you're wearing gloves, and somebody put it in the comments, still wash your fucking hands.
Surgeons still wash their hands before and after they've touched anything to do surgery or anything. So just wash your hands.
You don't need to go over the
hot
top.
water, soap, and use it properly. Get your fingertips, your finger webs. Yeah.
For 20 seconds, at least 20 seconds. Hot, soapy water. This isn't a particularly strong disease outside of the body. Soap and water luckily kills it very effectively. Just,
Thank goodness for that, and it's not resistant like MRSA or what have you. Just,
Well, not the good thing, but because it's a fairly new virus, it's never had to adapt to anything we throw at it before. So that's
it's dangerous. Period. Very
it is dangerous. We have no immunity to it, but at the same time, it has no immunity to anything we throw at it. So, like I say, soap, bleach, alcohol, your basic sanitizer is absolutely 100% effective against this, as we're finding out. Even
That
with your
being
groceries.
said, hand sanitizer is not a substitute for washing your hands if
No,
you
it's
have
not.
access to running water and soap. So if there's a choice, hot water and soap.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer was invented essentially as a luxury.
It's more prevent. I mean, with hand sanitizer, it's more of a preventive. It's supposed to create like a layer around your skin, but yeah, I mean, soap and water. I mean, everyone has
Most people
soap.
don't even use hand sanitizer correctly. In hospitals, I see the dispensers and people just put their hand under it, but they don't. Even professionals to get it because every time you enter a room, you sanitize. Invented essentially as a luxury. Sherry, did you bring up the stream again?
Hand sanitizer is more of a preventive. It's supposed to create like a layer around your
Because I'm
skin,
hearing
but
feedback
somebody's audio is coming through.
Most people don't even use hand sanitizer correctly. In hospitals, I see the dispensers and people. The
Share, turn
purpose
off
of hand
Facebook again.
sanitizer is you put your hand, you use it, but you keep that moving until it is dry. You keep for 20 or 30 seconds till you're just not, okay, I'm clean. It's no.
Sarah, you're funny.
As effectively.
Yeah.
Share,
The
turn
purpose
off
of
Facebook
hand
again.
sanitizer is you put your hand, you use it, but you keep that moving until it is dry. You keep for 20
Hey,
or 30
Sarah, can you please turn off your other device and just watch the program?
as effectively.
I can't hear you, Steve.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, there you are. Thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate that thing.
Is you put your hand, you use it, but you keep that moving until it is dry. You keep for 20 or 30
Sarah, can you please turn off your other device and just watch
Oh, son of a
the
bitch.
program?
I'm sorry. Better?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
There you go.
Nice.
Thank you.
I keep forgetting to click that off. Sorry, guys.
It's all
But
right.
Sarah, that was pretty funny what you were doing with the hands and stuff.
That wasn't meant to be funny, Cher.
It was. But the thing is, where do you get sanitizing anything? Because all the shelves they're gone. There's
Just
nothing there.
soap and water. If you don't have soap, hot water, just wash your hands for 30 seconds, get a little bit of friction. Wipe, just wash your hands standard. You don't need to go to any special precautions, any special measures for this disease. Normal hand washing techniques. People should have been washing their hands before this pandemic, which a lot of people didn't. 20 seconds. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't have soap, use shampoo. Use anything that's a general hygiene product that's got soap.
Disinfectant,
Yeah, well, some disinfectant or something.
sodium lauryl sulfate, those kinds of things.
Yeah,
Well, I'm kind of worried about like doorknobs, things you wouldn't think of, toilet.
Cher,
Hmm.
after you touch those things, just go and wash your hands.
Yeah, don't touch your face. That's because it's a respiratory infection. So the way it gets into your eyes, it gets into your nose, it gets into your mouth. And that's why it's important that people keep the mask over their nose, because that nose goes right through a tube to the same place your mouth does. So it's completely pointless having a mask on if you're not covering your nose with a respiratory infection, a respiratory disease rather. But
I see that all the time, that people wear their masks. Like I said before, I got knocked off, that people they don't know how to wear masks. And I just
They just wear it over the mouth, and they say, "Oh, I'm getting hot and stuffy, and oh, I can't breathe."
Then they ought to just take it off, because once you take it off like that, put below the nose.
Or people will take off part of the mask to eat something, or to take a sip of their beverage, and you've just broken the whole point. Because whatever is in the air, you have just introduced into your body because you have broken touching a mucous membrane.
The hard part about that, though, is when you work in a warehouse like I do, they've made masks mandatory, and I'm there for 10 hours a day, so I have no choice but to, when I'm at my workstations, break the quarantine sometimes to take a drink of my beverage tour, I don't get dehydrated and I can't work
And
it.
that's fair. I'm sure you have a bottle of hand sanitizer to go and be okay. But for everyone else, just be intelligent about it.
On my
As
car
in-
keys, in my pocket all the time.
Like
Nice.
John was
Exactly.
saying,
You
how
have
long can you
zero
wear a certain?
excuse.
How long can you wear a single pair of gloves for? Like my work truck, I work for FedEx. I've got 3 boxes of gloves. And I usually go through about a box and a half a day.
Mhm.
They
What kind
limit
of
us to
gloves
about
are
2
you
pairs a
using,
week.
Steve?
The
One use,
Yeah.
John.
medical grade,
Nitrile?
yeah,
Yeah,
um,
just one. I just ordered some mask gloves. So what you do is you wear those, you bring them home, wash them right away, and let them dry. They're
yeah.
done.
It's FedEx policy that every time we get done with one stop, we change out the gloves, hand sanitize, put a new pair of gloves on.
Oh, that's
That is
really good,
good.
actually.
That's
So,
very
Which
good.
we
I mean, literally,
everyone would have
I've
in
got
their
a
policy
That
for
is-
PPE.
Probably.
Yeah,
Do you all
that's-
remember those old back in the day that they have 2 liter? Do you remember the 3 liter cola bottles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 3 liter size with the pump, that's what I have for hand sanitizer in my truck.
Wow.
Nice.
Steve, thank you.
For what?
Observing proper protocol to
I've been in emergency
do this.
services for the last 15 years as a fireman and a medic. It's second nature. Like if I go
That's
to your
good.
house,
That is good.
if I get a medical call to your house, I don't know what you got. I ain't taking a
Exactly.
chance. You know how
Mhm.
many times we had a medical
Exactly.
call not too long ago, and she was a hoarder. There's a path to the kitchen, path to the bathroom, a path to her bed, and a path to her chair.
Oh, my
So when I got
Yeah.
done in there, I went outside and I dropped my bunker gear. I still had shorts on, ball shorts, and I took my shirt off and I was like bathing in hand sanitizer because it turns
Then-
out
yeah.
that she had some stuff that we didn't know about until after the daughter got there and told us, and we all walked outside and started trying to
And-
desanitize.
Nice.
To quote House, everybody lies. They don't
I
want to admit to
Great
necessarily
TV
what
show,
they
Sarah.
have.
Thank you.
I've got the worst diseases of all. Is what my daughter will tell you. I got the ugly disease. If she was here right now and actually in here on her curfew like she's supposed to, she'd come in here and tell you the same thing too.
And
So,
Steve,
yeah.
thank you for your services to your community.
If me as an asthmatic can stand to wear those masks and be okay, I don't want to hear, oh, that mask makes me uncomfortable. I'm sorry, that mask isn't for you.
I went to the bank the other day. You're going to love this one. They're letting people in the lobby without masks on. And I sit down at the customer service desk. That one guy that served me had a mask on. Nobody else in the bank did. And the girl came over and she was getting something from her copier. And I clicked with a pen on my mask and she pulled it up. And then she pulled it down. She says, "Oh, this is too uncomfortable for me," and walked back to her seat. And I'm like, "What are you doing? Crazy."
As I've said,
Oh, look, John's got his mask on. I believe he's got he's got the most beautiful flag the world has ever known on his mask. God bless you, John.
Scottish flag. I've got that flag too.
my health
That's some
is
heritage in there, too.
compromised
So, yeah.
enough that I'm now running more consistent high fevers. We don't know what it is, but because of this virus, I can't just go and see my doctor because she's overwhelmed with these viruses because people are being idiots and not washing their hands. And like I said, this virus, if it comes into my house, if my husband carries it, because that's probably where it's going to come from, will kill me. Because
Sarah, do your
I have
doctors have
asthma.
any idea?
I'm sorry?
Do your doctors have any idea what it might be?
No.
I would say in that respect, if you do have an underlying
Do
medical
I
condition,
have suspicion? Yes. I'm trying to bring my doctor. So there's a medical joke. If you hear hoofbeats in the park, look for the horse before you look for the zebra, looking for the common before the uncommon. Well, I'm not the horse, and I'm not the zebra. And it makes it really hard. It makes it really hard for this new primary to see that I'm not the horse and I'm not the zebra, to bring her around that I've been through the horse and zebra show, so it's a little more complicated.
Yeah, especially trying to establish a new primary.
Yes, it's difficult.
Been there and
And
done that.
I want to, on some level, to go to Johns Hopkins or the Mayo Clinic or what have you to let all the specialists descend on me for a couple of days to figure out what in the world is going on, because I had a lot going on even before this virus hit. And it's just, I'm sorry for making this the Sarah Pony show, but yeah.
Well,
Just
no,
please,
it's a
everybody.
perfect example. It's a perfect
Yeah.
example of what a lot of people will be going through, and a lot of people will have to choose. Like myself, I'm lucky that I'm positioned to work from home, but I still live with my parents. Unfortunately, age of 20, sort of mid-20s. But my mother, she's in a similar position. She has underlying health conditions, and I'm not worried for myself. It's not myself I'm worried for, but like yourself, my mother, if she was to get it, that would be it. That would be
Yeah.
it. And the problem is, my father is in the same position. He's a bus driver, so he's essential. He has to go. He has to drive the buses that get the nurses to the hospital.
Mhm.
For perspective, for my asthma, I am on 7 different medications. 2 of them are rescues, the other 5 are maintenance.
That is some severe asthma.
And it's still, I have 3 air purifiers spaced in my house, and I try to keep one near me running, or it becomes difficult. I have a humidifier in my bedroom, so again, because I need a certain level of humidity, but you go over that, I start to have problems. So everything in my environment, as much as I can, I have to keep on an even keel. If I run out of just one of my maintenance medications, my asthma starts to act up. Ask
So-
See, the
Alex.
problem is you're caught between a rock and a hard place, because I think you really need to check into a hospital, or you have them look at you. But if you go to the hospital, you might contract the virus. So
Sure,
Well-
hospitals couldn't figure it out even before this virus hit.
What I would say is before. So keep in mind, one of the most dangerous things in this pandemic is if people don't seek the appropriate medical attention because they're afraid of going to the hospital. If you suspect you have something wrong with you, if you think you have a lump that needs to be diagnosed, or if you're in need of medical attention, still go to the hospital. The hospitals have intentionally sectioned it off to try and separate COVID from everything else. In most cases, they'll divert you to a field hospital or somewhere where
you can get
it's
help.
separate.
Yes, absolutely.
Do not avoid going to the doctor because of this disease, because then you're going to have a secondary function where people will start dying for a lack of medical attention. And
Yes.
if you have an underlying, say a heart condition, or if you're potentially facing a stroke or an aneurysm or a more serious infection, it's more likely you will die from that than this disease. And it's not to say this disease is not serious, but
I think most people that pass are from pneumonia-related things.
oh yeah, so it's a secondary infection. It's not necessarily disease, but it's because the disease gets into your lungs and inflames. But
Several acquaintances of Alex and I, and friends of ours, so people we know related to them, didn't necessarily die from the virus itself. It was complications related to the virus.
yeah,
And it's, people are only thinking me. No. You need to think about everybody else. Wear your fucking mask properly. Don't just wear one of those straps. If you're going to wear that mask, stop touching your face and wash your bloody fucking hands.
no, absolutely. And like I say, if you feel you have a medical emergency or something that needs to be checked out, don't leave it for any longer than you would if this pandemic wasn't there. Because you don't want people to
If you
start
need
dying
emergency
because they couldn't
medicine,
get help.
go get it. There are precautions so that you don't get that virus. Because let's be honest, hospitals are always places where sick people go.
Oh yeah.
But they are you have to be. They take precautions so that you don't get sick.
I mean,
From
hospitals are
whatever
very
else
yeah.
everyone else doesn't have, because hospitals have been shown to have MRSA and those things, but everybody that goes into a hospital doesn't come down with MRSA. No.
Well, hospitals are very
Because
good at avoiding contamination. Like they have all
exactly,
this
because
an
they know
epidemic
how
of
cross contamination works. So if you need proper medical care, go to the fucking hospital. Stop killing yourself in other ways.
That's what I'm telling you, Sarah. Get your ass to a hospital quick. If you're
Sure,
running
what do you think I
concurrent
was doing in
fevers,
2017 and 2016? Sitting on my ass?
but if you're running concurrent fevers right now, go to the hospital. Don't worry about telehealth. Just get to see somebody.
They've been trying, Cher. They are trying to find it, is what I'm trying to tell you.
And how many blood
Because
tests have they
hospitals,
done?
large, you don't want to know how many times, honey. Remember how much medicine I know.
I just want to remind everybody, let's not cuss as much, please. I know
It's not
everybody's
my
upset.
first merry-go-round.
I know, and I know it's everybody's.
I know.
Sarah, hang
Yeah.
on. I know this is a touchy subject. I know everybody's very passionate about it.
I need to rejoin because my had a call and it switched the audio. I'll be back.
Okay.
Well, it's a bad thing, and we're doing the best we can, I guess. But we got to keep healthy, and that's the most important point. And also, like was said, if you have a condition or whatever, get your ass to the hospital. Don't worry about the virus. And that's all you can do, is the best you can do. You know, you have to use common sense.
Yeah, just make sure you're following the CDC rules, the 6 foot distance rules. Make sure you're washing your hands, sanitizing your hands, wearing your mask. And, you know, like I was at Walmart and a friend I ain't seen in 20 years came up and tried to hug me. And I'm like, dude, I'll throat punch you right now. You need to stay away from me. And I said, I'm a redneck in Kentucky and I'm armed. You just on that side of the aisle. And
License to carry, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I keep telling my girlfriend, my best friend's in Philly, and you know how people get grabby. Well, you probably don't know. People get grabby in Philly. And I tell her, no hugs, nothing like that. Okay, not even a fist bump. Don't even go for that one either.
I've been giving the Vulcan salute when people are trying to shake my hand.
That's what
we do elbow bumps over here.
I went to the bank today. My bank teller tried to shake my hand. I'm like, no, can't touch me. I'll just give you this.
I think Cooper has it right in the fact that it says, like he's pointing out, he just proved to be in recovery today. It sent him for
he's in.
It sent him for a loop, and we lost himless over this.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my.
See, and like Hooper, I mean, I've only talked to him a few times. Hooper, I went to school with him. I've watched his kids grow. He's watched my kids grow. He was my best man at my wedding. See, you guys, make sure you guys are following, because I do not want to get another message saying, hey, we've lost somebody else in Starfleet because of the COVID virus. It's hard. It's hard when you've only, it's hard all around. And as much as he's an ass at times, he is still one of my good friends. But he is still ugly, just saying.
I'm with Greg on that. Do the hand greetings from Demolition Man.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking more Terran Empire greeting.
What's that? Oh, no.
That was it.
Yeah.
I just ordered a mask that said, if you can read this, you're too close. That mask says that. If you can read this, you're too close.
I mean, one of the good things that's come out of this is the fact that, while the world is locked down, social cohesion has gone up. People have got a stronger sense of community because they can't leave. Most people can't leave their community, so they're having to, look within. The same way we would have had to do since World War II. So it'll be interesting to see the outcome of this disease. Both, eventually.
We are so much stronger socially. We're better at staying in touch with everybody. And ask my husband. I'm a hug person, but if you try to hug me right now, no.
I'll tell you what. listen, and I want to like get everything off the seriousness for a minute, okay? Because that's the main reason why I do these is try to get everybody's mind off it. Yes, we lost somebody today, but on a
Steve,
non
thank you for doing this.
on
Sorry
a non,
for
and
yeah.
on a non-serious joke. If you plan on drinking me under the table, come IC next year, you better get your underlying health issues checked because I'm going to feel really bad if something happens to you.
I'm gonna whoop your ass, Steve.
I was born in the States, but my grandfather and his father, my whole family is from Scotland. So I'm a redneck with Scottish descent that can drink.
Is this going to be a Highlander situation? Are we going to have to like fight? Is it going to?
There can be only one.
Is that how I become an admiral? I'm going to have to like pull out a claymore and just start swinging it.
Well, like with Sarah here, you can't.
A redneck
really
Scot.
Huh? There's what they call an internet tough girl. What she tries to do, she tries to flick the camera. She's like, "Here, go away." That's an internet tough girl. So no, I'm safe. So
I've never heard of a redneck.
We'll see how safe you are.
All right, I'm going to say this: there's nobody on the planet alive that can outdrink Cooper. If you think you can, I will put my ridiculous paycheck on the line saying that he'll smoke you.
Once he's completely, fully recovered.
Yeah, he probably can't even drink a glass of water right now.
Right?
All right, let's get lighter. Who else has something lighter?
First man walks into a bar. Second man walks into a bar. Third man does.
Well, I've got a bit of a topic. I was talking to Stephen and James about. Now that we've now got two franchises that have been at war with each other since God can remember, who do you think did a better reboot? Star Wars or Star Trek? Who's winning this reboot war right now? Is it Disney or the CBS?
Yeah, but Star Wars is
all the fans hate everything about everything because it's not what they grew up with. Me, my chapter, we're embracing all of Trek. I don't care. I'm hosting watch parties once I start meeting again. I'm going to be showing episodes of Picard. I'm going to be showing episodes of Discovery. I don't care. It's Star Trek.
Exactly. Thank you.
Star Trek, go have fun. If the boat is floating, go have fun.
I mean, if you think
it just seems like Star Wars is just like a movie. They're just pushing things out like crazy. Not even, they think the special effects will make up for the quality. You know what I mean? And it's sad to see.
I've heard a lot of people sit there and say with Rise of Skywalker that it was fan service, that it really didn't answer any questions. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was parts where I went, oh, crap, when I watched it in the big screen. I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. I'm more Star Trek than I am Star Wars, though.
I have to show you what's on my mug.
Oh,
is that a euphemism?
What the hell?
Share.
What's that say? I must be blind. What's that say?
I can't read it because she keeps turning it.
It's also backwards.
I can't read it.
It's also backwards.
I'm trying to get it where I can see it.
I can't read backwards. I'm the CS of Starfleet. I can't read.
Knitting because knitting isn't weird enough. Okay.
There you go. Share.
There you go. Okay. Got it.
Cheers.
I don't know about that, but okay.
Drink your tea.
I will, thank you.
I'm gonna have to tax that tea, thanks.
Come over here and get some, Robert.
Okay, bring in the redcoats. It's gonna be like that. If anyone's ever seen that episode of South Park where the redcoats arrive back in Boston Harbor, it's gonna be like that.
I'll tell you what. If the redcoats come here now, there's enough rednecks in Kentucky that will kick them out.
Right?
We're all armed here. I mean, my father's got like 5 gun safes with enough ammo and weapons to start a small army.
Amen.
Greg,
Dude,
what do you
people up here are buying guns like crazy, and people are going. I see people are going into stores with guns, and it's like, okay, what's going on here? Why are you?
We keep drifting back into serious topics. Let's play in Marry or Water.
Like you can walk into Walmart right next to me, and you would never know that I was armed. The whole thing of being
how many guns? How many guns do you have on you?
On me, I usually only have one. Now, when I was with the sheriff's office, I had 2. I had an ankle weapon too.
Why do you conceal it out of curiosity?
Because like people like share, they get uneasy. But here, no. Let me explain, okay? Because this was a heated discussion. Okay,
Okay.
I have my weapon on me not to intimidate you, but to protect myself and my children. If something happens, my job as a parent is to step in front of my kids and protect them. So if there's a gunman coming at me, I'm not going to wait for a rent-a-cop to come running from the other side of the building. I'm qualified with my 45 caliber. I'm going to take them out.
Yep.
So does that mean I'm going to protect the people around me? Absolutely.
Oh, I understand that, but a
Am I probably
45,
gonna
that's
get a
kind of
lawsuit
excessive.
Am I going to get a lawsuit because I probably shoved some old lady down out of the way, like Cher? Maybe, possibly. But, you know, I'll take that. I don't care.
I've got a protector mentality like you do, Steve. A couple years ago, my wife and one of my kids, a couple of my kids, and a friend, we were down in San Francisco. We're walking distance to the wharf, and this one individual, there was an elderly lady, probably in her 60s, got knocked over. I was a hair's breadth away of getting knocked in the head with a closed beer bottle. I didn't even flinch.
I'll tell you what. We got
Pulled out your gun?
I'm not armed.
Well, see now, if it gets to the point that like all hell is breaking loose, I'll have my 45 on it, but I'll also have my assault rifle across my chest. I'm qualified with that too. So.
Listen, Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, honey.
I was just gonna say, you know, you Americans with your guns and all your weapons, but I've got bagpipes. I'm pretty sure those do more damage. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah,
you're
all depends if you like the bagpipes.
See, you're using a direct attack. You've not evolved to have an area of effect attack yet. When you blast those bagpipes, every Englishman 50 miles near you will immediately just turn to ash. It's amazing.
No,
I
no.
love
bagpipes. They only
I
turn
love
to ash.
bagpipes.
They only
Right?
turn to
Sarah,
ash
thank
when
you.
Scottish people can't play them correctly.
Could you play some of that for us, please? So
I
that we can...
don't know how to play bagpipes, and I'm tone deaf.
So that what you just said, you're pretty much don't have your bagpipes with you when you go out.
I mean, I could pretend to play them. I'm pretty sure if I actually played them, you'd probably have nobody left in the stream, and they'd all be
You still
like
need it drawn. You forgot
Oh,
to
I'd
draw.
be more than happy to play Scotland the Brave.
Yeah.
Hey, if I could get a gun, let me tell you something, I would. Okay, because people out there today are crazy.
They've always
no.
been crazy. Sure.
Thank you,
More.
Thank
Okay,
you,
more.
One of my people. It's just the sound of the redcoats arriving in Boston Harbor.
I just watched The Patriot last week and love that part where they have the bagpipes and the drums just going in the front end of it.
Steve, you're having way too much fun.
That's the whole idea of this, isn't it? Is to
I
have
need some
fun.
liquor. I really do.
We'll see. The badass thing is when you get a couple of my friends together who are also Scottish, and we're outside, we're shooting, and we have our kilts on.
Now, is it a proper wearing of kilt?
It's a proper.
Oh, shit. Oh, sorry, Steve.
So do you get any backdraft when you shoot your guns?
My grandfather, I was a young man when my grandfather started telling me about my Scottish history. So my family were associated with the MacLeod of Lewis clan. And he told me, son, a true Scotsman never wears anything under their kilt.
Yes!
They're too.
Okay. Okay, hang on. I didn't know. Okay, I was like 12 years old. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So we went to a Highland festival, and I had a kilt on, but I had shorts on under it. Well, let me tell you, a good gust of air come by, and I see more of my grandfather than I ever wanted to see. And he was a gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps, so he wasn't shy at all. It didn't bother him. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I need them to go over and shoot me in the eye or something, or like think they're okay." It was horrible.
Please.
I love men that go commando. I just don't know why. Like a man in uniform. I mean, everybody. Well, some people love.
I don't think people realize how heavy kilts are. Like they're not like people can compare them to
They're made
skirts,
from
but
wool. They're supposed to be.
Russell,
Yeah.
it's McLeod of Lewis plan.
They're like BDU. You could probably like. I mean, if it's between the stuff they made kilts out of or Kevlar, I'm thinking I'm taking the stuff the kilts are made out. That'll stop the bullet.
I'm sure nobody's going to be shooting you in your kilt. Okay, let's not.
Oh, I don't know. It depends. It depends what sort of defenses Boston have got set up.
Hey, so how many Americans have you met, and they call it a skirt, not a kilt?
Oh, none. Like it's surprising. See, when it comes to I mean, it's kind of a stereotype that they would say that, but I find a lot of Americans are kind of clued on because of the links between Scotland and obviously people that have settled, and also because anyone who does say that is no longer with us.
I watched my grandfather.
I've had men ask me, so why do you wear nothing underneath? What do you do if you get an erection?
It's just
like,
that's
what the sporting is for. Yeah, Claude.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason. It's positioned right there.
So, anyways, on that note, I watched my grandfather when I was 16 years old. We were at another Highland festival, and I watched him literally kick some guy's ass because he said, "Well, why are you wearing skirts? You guys are men."
Wrong thing to say.
Exactly.
Wrong thing to say.
I sat back and watched because I knew it was going to be a good show.
Times like that, you wish you had a cell phone to record that and post it.
Some good old whiskey, and we'll be right as ready to watch that show.
The last time somebody asked me why I was wearing a kilt, or wearing a scarf, I just basically responded, it just makes it easier to teabag them, and they shut up pretty quickly.
Oh my God!
There it is, Robert. There it is.
Yep.
Yeah, we know what that is. Okay, so be careful.
I like Russell's statement. He said, because the King's Army didn't provide the Scots with underwear with their uniform allowance.
Oh my.
Well, if you'd only paid your taxes, they could have afforded that underwear.
We're not even talking about that. Move on.
I want to hear that story from Hooper.
Well, let me tell you. I can tell you a story too about when Hooper came in handcuffs into my jail.
Fun.
Yeah. He's like, "Wow, this is your new job. I like it." I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "You're never gonna believe what happened." I'm like, "You know how many inmates tell me that on a daily basis?" But he was actually innocent, and he proved it, and later got it taken care of.
Nice.
So yeah, it was. That's another situation. I seen more of my best friend than I wanted to see ever. I'm just like,
why do you think you're drunk so much? Because you saw more of your mate than you wanted to see. So let's all the whiskey.
Block it out of his memory.
Yep, all the whiskey, please.
Uh-oh.
Next.
Oh, sorry. I'm like half asleep. Sorry, what'd you say?
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
whiskey.
what,
I mean, in
500 over
terms
there
of
for you, Robert?
whiskeys, what was that? Sorry.
Whiskey.
Oh, in terms of whiskey, if you're looking for, the problem is I don't know what they sell to the Americans, like what we export. But Jura is a pretty decent whiskey. Anything that comes from like, the Isles, anything that's slightly peaty, is particularly nice.
Yep.
If you've ever seen Parks and Rec, there's a whiskey called Lagavulin. And unironically, is one of the nicest whiskies that you will ever be able to buy. It's a reasonable price point, so £80 or say $120. I don't know what you would pay over there, but $120 rough conversion. And it just goes down. It goes down like silk. And after a couple of glasses, you find yourself playing the bagpipes.
Well, for
You just
$120
have
some
to
dollars,
wonderful
I hope I
time
would
and
hope
everything else
so.
is gravy.
Yeah.
Hey,
From
Robert,
then
what
on,
time
it's
is
the
it over
gravy
there?
train.
Oh, it's 5:06 a.m.
So look, Jessica, I've got 2 international people here. They don't seem to have an issue with it.
I was going to say
Hey,
that earlier.
Jessica.
Glenfiddich, to Mary, yeah, Glenfiddich is a good whiskey.
I like a Glenmorangie too. That's a smooth whiskey.
What is it? What kind of whiskey?
Glenmorangie.
What?
Moriangi.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
About
check that
$40,
out.
$50 per bottle.
That's not bad. It's more than
No.
it's better than $120 a bottle.
Well,
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
say the $120 a bottle though.
it could be over exaggerated. I know it's about £80 here, but I mean, with whiskey's not really supposed to be drunk for the. It's not supposed to be drunk for the sake of getting drunk. It's one of those things you have what we call a dram or a measure. You're supposed to sit back and enjoy it and sort of enjoy the taste. If you're going to get
Have
drunk,
a sip and watch the world go by.
yeah, if you're going to get drunk in whiskey, then honestly, probably Jura, or if you're talking about American whiskey, probably Jim Beam, bourbon,
Ooh. I do that.
or Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare's really nice.
I like Captain Morgan. I'm sorry. There's nothing like it. Rum. I like that. It's good. It's good stuff. You would know about that, Steve. You go, boy.
No, I drink the bad stuff when I do drink.
Old number 7.
Ooh.
Gut rot.
Somebody's into the good stuff. You got moonshine down there, by the way?
See, even our friends down at the USS San Juan, they even say that whiskey's to be sipped.
That's right.
Yep. You sip it and watch the world go by. It's not, let's throw it back as fast as possible. Doesn't work that way.
Yeah, as Greg said, the SFI Booze Hour. That would be an interesting stream. Is the next time there's an episode of Discovery, it's either going to be a toast at the end to celebrate the new season, or at least we can get absolutely wrecked and drink away our problems.
So,
Okay, well, we can
Steve,
always a good
we
plan.
should do a drinking game for one of the, and every time this happens, have a shot, and we can all
I'll tell you
have
what,
fun.
we'll watch the original series, and every time William Shatner overacts, we just take a shot.
We'd be drunk by the end of the first season.
Into
We
it.
would be on the floor. I'd have to hold my computer like this or something. You know?
We wouldn't even make it into episode 5. And
Or
there's 30
episode
episodes of the first season.
Alert
Is
the
it overact
hospitals.
or underact?
Alcohol poisoning.
I don't know. Either one. Overact or underact?
Overact.
Yeah.
It's a new
Can't even
drinking
blame
game.
the fact that sometimes the writers were even writing the episodes while they were filming, and that's why he had to do some of the stuff he did, is because he didn't have the complete script with him yet.
Oh, there you go.
That's actually interesting.
Yeah,
I don't remember
mean,
where I figured that out.
I like the
Long time
original
ago.
series, but it's not my favorite. I like DS9, Voyager, Enterprise. I could sit down and rewatch those over and over and over. The
I'm
original
a TNG. I like TNG.
TNG, yeah.
That's
I'm
my
a Deep
baby
Space
right
Nine
there.
person. My
Well,
ship is
except
a
for the
Defiant
first
class.
season. The first season of TNG was horrible. Okay, but after that, it got really good.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I've
same
never,
thing-
They were copying everything from TOS. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then you get into season 2, and it's like, wow, this is really good. The writers, they must have fired all the writers from the first season and got all new ones for the second and the rest of them.
Wasn't it because
Well,
Gene Roddenberry was told to basically stop interfering, like season
Not
2
sure.
onwards, or like Gene Roddenberry was
Well,
like,
Gene
he's-
died in 91.
91, but wasn't it a case where the first 2 seasons of TNG was just based around TOS and it was kind of bombing?
Well, the same thing can be said for Deep Space Nine. The first 3 seasons of both TNG and DS9 dragged all to get out, and once they hit season 4 on both series, they took off like a rocket.
Now, the
Yeah.
really thing is about Voyager. I stopped watching after they brought 7 on because I thought, okay, that's TNA for the show. That'll bring in all the fanboys.
Damn
But
right.
I revisited it,
Exactly.
and the shows were fantastic.
Yes, they were.
I just can't tell you how much I love the shows.
hmm I can't tell you how many times I've rewatched TNG, Discovery, Voyager, and Enterprise, and have yet to finish season 3 of the TOS.
Okay. See, the
Not worried
problem
about that
is
at all.
I have the first two seasons of Disco, but I don't have CBS All Access, so I have to wait until later to get the episodes on DVD for the third season because I don't know, I'm kind of between, buying it and not buying it because, I mean, I've got Netflix, I've got, Amazon Prime,
Here.
it's so much,
I have hosted watch parties for seasons 1 and 2.
Mary, you're right. I was verbally answering one of the comments.
Did you see what Greg said? Greg, bad boy. Ooh.
There's Greg in the background causing mischief.
Good for Greg.
Good one. One for you.
I think for me with Star Trek, like I have something I like to call Star Trek syndrome, and it's where the first 2 seasons of any Star Trek show are usually just absolute garbage, and not necessarily bad TV. They just don't really fit in place. Like I feel Voyager took 2 seasons to find its footing. DS9 took 2 seasons. TNG season 3 onwards is like prime Star Trek.
Yeah.
Hoping Discovery
for a second, okay?
Yeah, they really took off like a rocket. It's pretty impressive how they do that. They stink and then they go zoom.
Yeah. I mean, season 2 of Discovery, I mean, for season 1 was rough, like no doubt, because of all the issues of production. But season 2 actually felt like Star Trek. I know people complain about the final battle and stuff, but there were points I was sitting there, it's like, yeah, no, this is Star Trek. This is Star Trek.
Well, I really appreciated Disco because they had the gay aspect to it, and they had the wow factor, which is, I say, women of weight. I don't know exactly what the correct term is, but
BBW.
at least they're really coming out with some good stuff.
BBW would be correct.
BBW,
Big
yeah.
beautiful woman.
Okay. Before we even get that aspect, this is not Starfleet after late night. Okay. Everybody, welcome Captain Hooper of the former USS Odin.
Hi.
Yeah. What ship
Welcome.
am I
Glad you
going to
recovered.
Hooper,
Thanks for joining us.
tell us how you're feeling and stuff, and tell us about a little bit about the ordeal you had to go through with the COVID-19.
Okay, well, first, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you.
It was interesting because both, I'm in my 30s, which to me, I feel old as hell every day I wake up. And I'm like, why does this hurt? I didn't even know I had that before. But the directions I was given, I worked out a lot. I actually lost weight during this because they made me work out so much. This experience to me has been 2 things. One, it's been eye-opening. A lot of people, that you think care about you, then they don't. And I say this because Steve, I love to death and would take a bullet for, but his ex is a dumbass who doesn't understand this, and I say that 100%.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
This can't be Trash the X night.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, like,
That's tomorrow night.
this shouldn't be a political thing. Like, legitimately, this has become a political thing, and it shouldn't. The individual who I do not know that we lost in the Starfleet, all the pictures I've seen, she's smiling and has people around her smiling. I know nothing about her, and it breaks my heart because that just could easily have been me, but I probably wouldn't have been smiling in as many photos. Like, this kicked my ass, and yeah, I've been like sly about it. I didn't, admit to people closer to me what was going on. But today, after 2 weeks, I'm technically in, I'm recovering, but I'm going to be feeling the
You'll be feeling the
health
after
effects of
effects
this for a while.
some
Yeah.
time, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your lungs are going to
And-
recover, and it doesn't
and-
happen easily.
Exactly. I'm not a smoker or anything like that, but this isn't going to be just immediately fixed, and it sucks. And I try to come back to the world as it is, and we've lost people. Like we've lost people, and I don't even know this person, but she likes Star Trek. I like Star Trek, so obviously I'm sure there's something about her that I would like. This particular disease, the reason it's breaking my heart isn't because of what I went through. Which, yeah, literally, if you guys don't know, like about 12 hours ago, I was diagnosed as in recovery. So, like, it's kind of a big deal. It's breaking my heart because it's breaking us apart, his people, and I see that. I say that with Steve. Steve's right here, and I love him. And I will take a fucking bullet for him. I'll take a bullet for his ex, even though they're so ugly. I mean, you guys see it; they're so ugly. But I really would. Like, I don't think all of our politics align 100%, but I think we still have the same general vibe. We just want people to be okay. That's all we want. We just want people to survive and be okay. And we're not being okay right now. Like, this disease is fucking us up. And now we're opening up the states and and it's.
I think it's too soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you are is exactly why I'm so terrified for Alex to go back to work.
I will say this. I think Steve just said, and this is what I want to highlight. He just said it's too soon. And Steve, you know your ex better than me. You were married to her. I would argue that she would say it's not too soon because she's mad as hell. But also she's in Illinois. We're thinking fucking her world up.
Illinois. All right, so Kentucky's opening up May 25th. Illinois supposed to be locked down to the end of July, and she's she's like, well, if the other states can do it, why can't we? Well, Illinois is like the leading right now in the coronavirus. And what scares me to death is she's not thinking smartly because my 9-year-old lives with her.
Exactly. Well, and that's one thing.
Phase 2 of opening.
Somehow this has become a political thing, and it should not be a political thing.
No,
It's an election year, which has caused this to become a political thing.
Yeah, and then I get mad. I get angry because
people that are opening up soon is going to be a hot spot. They're going to start being hot spots. All the
I
time.
am going
to be it.
Well,
I am going to have to have Alex put his work shoes in a plastic tub on the porch and take off what he can, and then basically shower down and everything before he can come near me to say, hey, honey, did you have an okay day? Those things.
And that's the thing that upsets me.
You have an okay day, go get washed. Okay.
Like, here's the thing that upsets me. I'm literally a guy that literally, as of today, I'm clean. Which I'm not clean because I fucked this chick in the back alley. Like, that's a different disease. Listen, but anyways,
God.
You let him in, Steve.
Russell, why you take
I just want everybody to be okay, and in the real world, not all of us can be okay, and we have to accept.
Were you relatively healthy before you got this?
Define relatively healthily, like
did you have comorbidities,
walking around,
like asthma?
I jogged every day, but it hurt. But did it hurt more? I don't know what line you want me to post. Like,
did you have other health concerns before you got sick?
Surprisingly, no. I should have. Like,
so that should be a cautionary tale to everyone that someone who otherwise didn't have a whole lot of health concerns on the outset, and now you are not nearly completely.
At the same time, I have a media family that works in like the ER of the
Greg
hospital.
Mortensen wrote in, he says wave 2 for the United States is going to be far worse. And I agree because that virus is going to mutate. And
because people are stupid. They don't wear masks, right? They don't wash their hands.
That's not the point. It's a different strain of the virus that's going to kick our asses, okay? Because it's mutated. They won't be, if they're doing a vaccine now for this strain, okay? What about the next strain, okay, which is going to hit? And it's going to hit.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that we have to acknowledge. And it's both us acknowledging our own intelligence as well as our own dirtiness. We have to accept that we're more aware of things than the average populace, right?
Wow.
We're more aware of them. But at the same time, we still want to interact with human beings. So what we need to accept
that I want to talk to that I can't right now. There are people I want to hug, But I can't right now because if they perchance have the virus, I'm toast.
Yeah.
You barely scraped by. I will be dead.
Yeah, but what sucks with our particular populace is it doesn't matter what end of the spectrum you fall on politically. Most Trek fans are going to be more intelligent. And I say that with a little bit of pride, but it's an acknowledgement.
Yeah, it's true because it's an intellectual show.
Other. Yeah, we annoy each other, even if we're on the left or the right.
Yes.
But we're also more intelligent. So here's what sucks. Like, it doesn't matter what end of the spectrum. I can completely disagree with you, and you completely disagree with me. And we're still left in a situation where we want to support each other, but we can't.
Yeah.
That's a major fucking deal. And that's...
You have to find new ways of supporting.
Yeah.
Because...
And that's why I want to say, and I want Parmley, who's here right now, I want him to hear this. This is the first time that I 100, not like just 90 or 95, 100% support him as our commander.
Yeah.
Let's give our thanks to Steve because he's working very hard for all of us.
Hooper, do me a favor so I can record this on my phone. Will you please resay that?
Yeah. I would like to say. No, and this, but he's also serious. Me and Parmley, we grew up in the same city. We live just miles apart from each other, but we're also worlds apart in 99% of our views, I would argue. Although our hairlines are oddly similar. It's weird. But
you can be across the street from someone and have radically different views. It doesn't.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you still need to learn to support each other and put some things aside because they're not relevant.
That's the thing. Yeah. That's what Starfleet is. Me and Parmley, we grew up in the same city.
A meeting of the minds, as it were, where we come together because it's something that we love. We were talking about before of some people love the reboots. That's fine. If that's something that you enjoy and it brings you to this, I'm not going to shit shame you for it.
And that's why I'm appreciating him, because we grew up within miles of each other. We grew up in the same city, and we both have very similar ideas. Like, I think both of us would shoot a motherfucker over our daughter. Yeah, and I say that language because I think
language.
But at the same time, we're neither 100% liberal or 100%, conservative.
But nobody is 100% for anything.
And that's the thing. That's what I loved about.
This is the time that we need to find what unites us, that thread that binds, and not just those of us in Starfleet, but whatever it may be, because this virus is just
it breaks us back
kicking
down.
Everybody's ass is what it's
yes, it is.
Making people very
afraid. It doesn't care if what you are, it will break you.
Yeah, but
it nearly killed you. It can kill me. Heaven knows what it could do to my husband.
But also, wait, you have a husband?
Yes. Not to the ring.
I said the same thing.
How did you mean that?
Ignore that. Let me say this. You're 100% right. Like 100%, I agree with you in every key point that you just made. Here are the counterpoints, which aren't even really counterpoints. The first would be Trek is different than Star Wars. Star Wars creates incels or guys who are fans for like a couple of years. But Star Trek creates people who are happy about the idea of a potential future. Now, I would guarantee you, and you probably don't know me or Parmley at the level that we know each other, but if you were to sit me and Parmley in the room, we could agree on like 2 out of 10 ideas, maybe, at best.
Honey, I don't even always 100% agree with my husband. That's okay.
Trust me, I'm used to being around women who don't agree with their husband. That's the whole but
I don't agree with anyone 100% of the time because different person.
Yeah, the fandom of Trek isn't a solidified fandom. It's this idea that it's a belief in potentiality. That's
it's a hope for a better future.
Exactly. And God damn it, I'm so mad I'm about to say this. Like, I'm angry I'm about to say this because he's going to probably record it and he's going to save it. But Parmley is a potentiality in a great future. And I hate that I just said that, but like, me and him are two guys who grew up in a Midwest state who should have very honestly.
You're getting this, right, Steve?
Yeah. He's probably recording this. I'm mad as hell. But we should probably be very, very super like argumentative. We should probably be very. Oh, you're a little too dark for our like. You know, we should be that kind of stuff.
I
But
don't think everyone
he's a
should.
good fucking dude, and he knows the amount of black.
I don't think no matter who you are, you should 100% agree with someone 100% of the time, because if you start speaking to
he's probably drunk.
people that only always ever agree with you, it never challenges you and makes you more.
True. You're right. And that's the thing. You just said a whole Vulcan sentence. So imagine trying to say a Vulcan sentence in the middle of like a fucking, Earth meeting. And that's what you just did. But that's what I'm trying to do right now, because I really do think that Steve, who lives close to me, who I've known all my life, I think he's been hit on one of the fronts. Some fronts I didn't acknowledge originally, because the last commandant fucked his job up really bad. Let's all just be honest. He did. He really messed up. And Steve was just trying to continue on, but now he's got to fix other problems. So all I'm trying to say is, even though Steve and I don't always agree, I appreciate that Steve allows me to not always agree with him.
Oh, coochie.
Yeah.
4 words sum up that entire thing.
That's my
diversity, infinite combinations.
Exactly. IDIC. Yeah, IDIC. And
infinite diversity and infinite combinations. We do not always have to agree, because we don't need a resonance chamber, because we can only become better if we have the bravery, however you want to put that, to speak our mind.
Exactly.
And
so
it's not always.
What they just said, because I know you don't always understand their big words, Steve. So what they just said is, even though I don't always agree with you, I'm so happy to be able to disagree with you. That's what they just said. So no, like literally, like
dude, something's bad is going to happen to me now that you just said all this stuff. I'm going to walk out my bathroom and like
we're going to cry. It's going to be crying time.
Yeah, I've been around Starfleet since 2015, and so far you're the best CS that I have ever come across.
Oh,
I hear that a lot, and I appreciate
another bromance. Oh my god,
it's rough.
Yeah, all I can do is I'm just doing the job that I ran for. I'm keeping my promises. I'm doing what I can. But you're probably about you and 2 other people outside Region 4 that actually think that. Most of Region 4 don't think that.
Well, a lot of things can change in Region 4.
Well, when people are upset and don't like something, they're always louder than the voice that says
that's
you're
why
doing
his wife was so loud.
good.
But no, like seriously, if we're just being real, Steve, all right, he's gonna not acknowledge this, and I'm pointing to the window he's in my version. There's 6 of us. We're gonna ignore him. Let's just be honest. He's an idiot. He's a complete idiot. But we love him.
We're all idiots.
He's a nice guy. Like, he's an idiot that means well.
In our own way.
So, like, but that's the thing. He's an idiot with a widow's peak who means well. And we appreciate him. We're going to back him to the end of the line. So,
boy, this has been a real experience for you, hasn't it? You're kind of like really modeling and looking at things with a different perspective than everybody else now.
I'm just waiting for the SWAT team to come through the window at me.
There's no swatting you tonight. No swatting you tonight.
Anything bad. I mean, but you have a different perspective now that you've been through all this COVID stuff.
Perspective is always in state, honey. Flux. It's never consistent.
You can tell, though. Either you're really still very sick, or you've had a real change in everything that you're looking at now.
That's what this virus does.
I like the quote that John put up. If everyone is agreeing with you, no one is making by General George Patton.
See, not a lot of people know. Even though me and Hooper, we went to school through it forever. When I joined Starfleet, I was on the USS Odin. I was a chief science officer. And we were in the same town.
Odin.
Yeah, we
There it is.
Pass that over.
and we lived in the same.
Hey, pass that around.
And
Hooper, yeah,
we were
come
putting
on,
the Constellation together.
share the goods.
And so I came from the Odin onto the Constellation. I started the Marine unit.
Okay, but hey, can
He made
I challenge your history?
well,
Why did I name it? Why did I name it the USS Constellation?
because in the 1990s, Paducah had the original USS Constellation.
God damn it, you got that right. That kind of pisses me off. Shit.
I was made second officer, and then the XO got sick. I moved up to XO, and then Hooper had a blood disorder in what was it, 13?
Yeah, 2013. Hey, if I didn't have a divorce, I'd be dead. So,
And
yay me.
Oh
He
my
was-
goodness.
He was literally supposed to be dead in 2013, and I took over the Constellation.
What was the blood disorder, if I may?
Thrombotic thrombosis purpura. It's a weird blood condition.
Nasty.
that,
Medically trained, I'm familiar.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, a white woman telling me what she knows. Okay, that's original. Anyway, basically,
That was so kind of you. That was so kind of you.
Oh,
we could go on off that, but all that I want to say, as me, a guy who's predisposed to just move us over, is I had no faith, and I'm saying this 100%. And I'm sorry, Steve. I had no faith in Steve, but he has proved me wrong 100% of the way, and I'm so proud of him. And I honestly think that he might be the one to save Starfleet, because I honestly think that Steve gets it. It's not about what programs we offer or what little incentives we offer. It's just about the friendships we offer. And Steve gets that more than any of us.
I've made some of probably the best friendships I've made through my entire life has been in Starfleet.
I concur with that.
Jeff Higdon, people I've met Mary and Kiwi Kane. I've not met Rosensweiss. I didn't know he existed.
Steve, I know my husband because of this organization. I owe my life because
You
of
have a
this
husband?
organization.
Okay, let me.
We got married down at a science fiction convention because of this organization.
Okay, let me say this. I do not want to date anybody from this organization. It will be drama. Not
you don't want to date me?
I don't think you have to.
Why am
You're
I here
married,
if you don't
so
want to date me?
You're not dating anybody. I
because
mean,
you ain't
oh,
my
there goes that bromance.
well, for the bromance,
I wore my best.
very
I wore
popular.
my best rompum, and you don't even want to date me?
No.
That's some bullshit.
You guys,
Hey, a horse would be better.
you need to stop.
Starfleet
Okay,
matchmaking
you're
process.
No, they
scaring
don't.
me.
No, they don't share.
You're scaring me, guys.
A horse would be
Kind
better.
of wondering about you people. Okay. Well, not you, Sarah. I know about you, but I'm wondering about you guys over here.
Poor Robert hasn't even said anything over there.
He's scared, bro.
Did you fall asleep
Oh,
over there, Robert?
I'm just sitting back and watching this beautiful bromance emerging. I'm just curious, like, who marries the Commander Starfleet to it?
Well, let me ask you, because between me and Steve, who's the bro and who's the girl? Like,
Seriously?
We're not going to
You
go
better
there.
get your
We're
gun.
not going to go
You got
there.
your gun on that one, Steve.
We're not
I'm
going
not
there.
muting people.
We're not going there.
Censorship.
Yeah.
but no, once again,
Here we
let
go.
me slow it down.
Okay.
I appreciate Steve as well. You guys who are from other areas, you have to remember, we're in Kentucky. If you don't know Kentucky, it's the most redneck place ever. And Steve has allowed an organization to flourish where your binary or gender acceptance isn't the normal. And that's a major deal. So you guys need to give Steve appreciation, because I don't even think his own politics always agree with that. But he accepts you as you are. So,
Who does that?
Steve.
Who? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Steve. Okay.
Share, get
Here
your
goes
beer,
the
honey.
bromance.
Catch
I'm
up.
sorry, what I can do.
Yeah.
Now that we built Steve all the way up, let's knock him down.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Now that we built him up, let's.
Okay, we're on different ends of the screen, so it's like, okay.
For tearing down from Steve, you didn't know who my fucking husband was.
Language!
Wow.
Hooper, do you know that one of the founding 4 chapters of Starfleet was the USS Constellation?
Yeah, I do know that, but it was the Constellation, or aka the Connie before us. And he ended up moving to Ohio. And then when I actually asked him for permission to use the name USS Constellation when I created it.
And now I have it. And you have it.
Now you have it, and that kind of scares me, but it's okay. It's okay. We're all
81 members and still climbing.
I mean,
I love
81
the fact that
members.
I have one of the unique names
Wow.
in Starfleet right now for my ship.
So actually, speaking of it, congratulations to the USS Alba. They just hit their 100 mark.
Nice.
Congratulations, Alba.
All right. Well, okay.
I
here's the
just
thing,
gained a new member today. I convinced a friend of mine to join Starfleet International, so she's going to be joining here soon.
Not even a full month into my shakedown cruise, I am 1 member away from fleet minimum requirements.
Sweet.
And I
Well
haven't
done.
even worked on my bylaws or my handbook yet.
Hey,
Well done.
people use
But you
their
gotta
cat.
you gotta let them out.
Use
of
your dog.
You know, you gotta let them out.
People
of
use
your-
cats
your
and
ownership.
dogs for
No, they don't count.
Oh, I didn't say that, Steve. I didn't say that. Okay,
Yeah, you
people
did.
don't use their cats and dogs for members. Okay.
No, that does not
Then what's
fall
that
on
fleet
your, on your thing.
The original Enterprise NCC 1701.
Well, my thing, Steve, is this.
Thank you,
I,
Alex.
I will go back to the Trek episode of the day under one condition: that I never get someone mad that I'm doing a Trek episode of the day, because that hurt my soul when I used to get, like, I used to do the Trek episode of the day. I did it for like 4 years. I would get people mad that I was blowing up the list with the Trek episode of the day, and they're like, "Oh, this is just for Starfleet business." Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, we're a Star Trek fan club, so I don't mean to be rude, but also fuck you.
Destroyed in 2285 after
Yeah.
several refits, giving it a 40-year lifespan,
We got to give
Then
Hooper
we
a
have
break
ships
from it
like
so he
the
doesn't have a
Excelsior
breakdown.
class, which has been
I
referred
was
to
having a
as
breakdown.
Yeah, she's
I'm here
rocking,
tonight.
boy.
mission fleet, originally state-of-the-art in 2280 and still in service by 2370, 90 years later. Of course, these vessels would not be running technology from near a century ago, and it's often expanded that
Russell, if you can
latter-day
hear me,
Excelsiors
I
were
love it.
very
I'm going to put it up there
different
just a second,
internally
just
than
for
their
her.
early counterparts. But eventually, all ships and classes will
I
end.
love the certified
So,
game.
what is the fate of most of these vessels? Hi, Rick here, and this video is on the most common
Oh, Nikira.
Starfleet's vessels. Starting with the obvious one.
Would
Fresh
you like
off
to know
the
more?
Escape Pods episode, we of course have destruction. Sometimes a ship is simply destroyed. Maybe it is dropped into a sun, crashed by some anomaly, or destroyed as a result of combat. In this case, there's little that can be salvaged except for survivors, and perhaps any wreckage that can be hauled away for scrap.
Call the Ferengi.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still going to put this up there, Russell. I'm going to get in trouble for this.
Oh my God, here we go.
This is for Sarah.
Ah,
Absolutely.
we're waiting.
I'm getting it. Good. Hang on.
Quicker.
That's why
Oh,
I
I
can't
forgot
teach
you
women. He
guys
takes
down
so
there go
long.
at a slower pace than we do.
Shut up,
Okay.
Hooper.
Hey,
That
all
old
the
what?
way on the West Coast in California, and we get the backlash.
That's probably
Hey, I'm in Philadelphia, New Jersey. We go
City
fast.
of brotherly love for a
Sure.
reason.
City of brotherly shove. Okay. Well,
This is sad. They got real cities, man. Like, what do we have? We have shit.
we should have $100 in that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a bit empty. If they just
Yeah,
had
it
to
is.
just had to empty all the money out to put a new one in.
We just paid off the new database with
Is
this
this like
episode.
the
Second
smear
jar.
jar? The
That's
smear
the
jar
second
day?
one.
Hey,
Yeah.
we can pay back the $20,000 from IC 2019. We can pay back get the database going. We can fully launch all the quartermasters just by letting Sarah Rosenzweig cuss on TV on live screen. But she's gonna put money in the
That's
jar.
not something to be proud of, Sarah.
Yeah,
I need
Sarah.
one for Star Trek references.
That works.
Good luck getting me to enforce it.
My daughter sent me a message. She's like, "Why can this woman cuss online? And I'm your daughter, and I can't say that. That's because she's not my problem. You're 16. You are my problem."
Oh,
There it is.
All right, two
There it
questions.
is.
a young
questions.
woman.
First, why is your daughter awake at this hour? But also, my niece.
She's 16. You try telling her to go to bed.
I get that because my niece, who's named
I have
after
an
me,
11-year-old that doesn't
older
do that.
than me, My niece just graduated tonight, and she wrote me this lovely letter. It was so wonderful. It was like, oh, I hope to live up to the name. And in my head, I'm like, bitch, you already outgrew my name, and you're fucking ruining me. Like, can you slow the fuck down? Like, yeah.
Do we have a jar for Hooper? I just want to know this because, man, we could do all the things.
He's emptying it out right now, Sheriff.
Yeah, he's emptying it of all that liquid gold.
You go, Hoop.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I'm just saying.
So I just got asked if I could play the opening video real quick because somebody's wanting to see it before they go to bed. So hang on 1 second.
Copy that.
It better be faith of the heart.
There you go. I hope you enjoyed it for who
That
watched.
is wonderful.
I actually enjoyed
Wow.
that.
I haven't
There-
seen that before.
There was no faith in the heart. What's
Very
going
nice.
on?
Very nice.
Hooper, you want some faith in the heart?
That
I
song.
always want faith in
Are
the
we
heart.
still doing this
Words?
romance thing? Can we move on? Okay.
The words
You're just
don't
Share.
fit the premise of
Share.
Enterprise
Share.
so much.
Live.
I don't have
Breathe.
a bro man, okay?
Breathe,
our fault.
share.
Yes,
Breathe,
Sarah.
share.
Where's
Breathe,
faith in the
honey. Breathe. It's okay.
We could have a girl mance. No.
Oh yes, no, definitely.
A chick mance.
No.
Oh.
No. No.
Keep trying.
I'll think of something later.
Thank
Just
you.
We'll
Thank
have a
you.
tip jar.
Look, you
Thank you
can't
for
have a
playing.
voice deeper than me and say we could have a female.
No.
16 years old in the room. See? Bing.
I could sing, yes.
Yeah,
but
no,
I'm not going
that
to right
just
now.
just to answer Greg, that video is like 2.5 years old. It was created when I had marketing and nobody picked it up when they sacked me. And that's been sitting there in the Facebook group for like 2 years.
Oh,
I don't know who this guy is, but he sounds like the dude off of fucking Braveheart who's always from Ireland. Why does this dude sound like he was just birthed out of the fucking, the
Because he's
herd?
Scottish, Hooper.
Yeah. No, he's not just Scottish. He's super Scottish. He
I am the Highlander.
exactly.
oh bullshit. I got a
The only
tattoo.
one with you in the
But
room,
this
Robert.
dude sounds out like Duncan and Connor both birthed him. Why does he sound so perfectly Scottish?
Don't
What was
kill my
that?
ears, laddie.
Oh, hold on. Let me become even more Scottish. Give me 1 sec.
You're like, I may become more Scottish. What are you
Am I
fucking
going
gonna
to
do? Are you
take
gonna
my
fucking
earphones
disagree
out?
with
You gotta
politics? What are you gonna? You're
if
so
you really-
Scottish already.
If you really want to hear a Scottish man's accent come out or a woman, drink. Let them drink, and that shit comes out so thick. It's like
Oh
it's
my
like
god,
you
I can't even
listen to-
understand them.
Yeah, it's like a
They're
Kentucky.
like, what?
Oh, laddie.
We need closed
How are you
captioning
doing
for that
today?
stuff.
Remember, you little ball bags. If you don't wash your hands, I'll kick you up the cut.
Whoa.
We lost it, Robert. What happened?
I can't say that particular word, otherwise they might take down the stream. But
Okay.
wash your hands, laddie.
Says it.
Wash your hands, or I'll come and get you with my sword.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
Oh, love it.
Let's complete the bit.
Good one.
If you don't wear your mask correctly, I'll teabag while you're wearing it. There you go.
Hey.
Hey, I'm from Kentucky. I'm like a teabag. I don't know.
Oh. Hey, some people here in California might like it too, Hooper.
What's that, Sarah?
That is a cat paw. That's a kitty paw.
Jinx just stretched her paw because
Don't you cut them
Yeah.
off and have them for good luck?
No, that's
Oh,
right.
that's right.
Here,
Never mind.
she's sitting in my lap.
Guys,
What color
this
is
moment that you
She's
guys are
sitting in my lap
experiencing,
and decided to stick her paw up.
quit listening to her. She's an idiot. Listen to me. This moment is why I like Star Trek more than Star Wars. because it was
Thank
like
you.
5 different people with 5 different opinions, but you all appreciated the same moment.
He is Duncan MacLeod,
Just saying.
the Highlander.
No, hey, Robert, if you were going to do this, you should have went with the movie and Connor McLeod, not
No,
Aaron
always
Paul.
Duncan. This guy don't know. I got the text.
That was a good movie.
I have Adrian's personal cell number. Don't bullshit, Adrian.
The lover.
I never
You know,
watched
that
the show,
guy
so I
was
really
supposed
can't
to
say
be
much about Adrian Paul.
He was supposed to be at a convention we were at, and at the
What are you doing?
something happened where he
What
canceled,
is it?
and it
Okay,
was like
well-
he called in, and I'm like, how the hell can I get your autograph if you call in?
Okay, fair enough. And I will say this: I don't know shit about anime. I run an anime convention. I have a fucking Highlander tattoo, but I have his. Like, we text each other, and I don't say that like, oh, I'm big shit. I'm not. He texts a million people. But if really there was an event where you felt cheated, if you tell me that, I will relay that to him because he hates that shit. Like, he hates feeling like he let someone down. So,
And I give him credit for that.
Sorry, Adrian.
meanwhile, we have, fucking Steve who lets everybody down. So we're used to it, but
And don't know who people are.
I was disappointed. I really was, because they had most of the cast there, and I was waiting, and all of a sudden it was like, well, he can't be here. He'll call in, and I'm like, okay.
yeah, he texted me when my first son was born, who's staring
Love
at me
this
right
movie.
now. Like, doesn't have a clue he's staring at me.
It's Mel
William
Gibson
Wallace.
before the break. It's the Mel Gibson before his breakdown.
Yes.
Before he hated Jews. We
At
didn't
what
even know
point
he
in this
hated
video
Jews.
does he strip down and start making rather questionable remarks?
I like his
That's
hair
years later.
and makeup. His makeup's pretty good.
I hate this. This is not a good representation. I just need to point out Scots were not a bunch of mud hut dwindling retards. It's like we were a full functioning society
You're
with
right.
universities and armies.
Okay, you're 100% right. But can I also say, y'all also didn't win wars like he did? Like, it's 50-50. Like, yeah, y'all were way more intellectual, but you also got your asses kicked.
Oh, not really. That's like when you think, Scotland was independent. We won the wars of independence, and it's only when a Scottish king came and took both crowns, like, no, these are mine now. That's when the UK was formed. But Scotland was independent for 1,000 years. Like, it's one of the oldest.
He's right. Like, Scotland kept getting its own independence, but then it would be a Scottish king that would like fuck it up.
Yeah, John Bailey will be the prime
So it'd
example.
be like, oh hey, I can go
Puppet king.
skateboarding. I got these cool wheelies, and then I would trip. That's what Scotland was for like 400 years. So
Yeah,
We
just
also have to
John
remember
Bailey.
that the
John
movie
Bailey,
Braveheart is
the
just
puppet
a
king.
movie, and they did it for entertainment value.
yeah, exactly.
It's Mel. I wish it just wasn't Mel Gibson.
But what I would ask is, of most Star Trek friends, Star Trek, would you think? Are you more? Okay, I'm just gonna say it. It's gonna sound racist, so just stick with me. I'm not trying to sound racist, but stick with it.
And here it goes.
Are you pig faced or you're antenna? Are you blue antenna or pig face?
What?
Because hear me out. 4 worlds started the Federation. We all know
Earth, Vulcan,
Humans, Tellarites,
Tellar,
and
and
Andor.
Andor. There's the 4
Tellarites
starting.
and Andorites. So I'm just saying. Are
Those
you
are the
out
4
there?
starting
Are you out there like
United Federation
this?
of
Are you out there
planets.
like this? I'm just asking.
I embrace everybody. I don't pick
These are
between Tellarites or
Andorians, I'm
Andorians.
thinking, maybe. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Andorian or Tellarite. That would be like the official way of what I'm saying.
Why would you think that was racist?
Okay, you want to hear why?
Uh-huh.
All
Yeah,
right.
No,
You go
No,
for
no,
it.
fuck,
She
no.
opened the door, Steve.
Tell
She
me I'm
opened the
wrong.
door.
Yep.
Is this wrong? Trailer park. Tellarite.
You think Andorians are trailer park?
I'm not saying I think that. I'm just saying a lot
He's
of people
doing
think
word
that.
association.
Am I
Sure, I see
wrong?
where he's going with
And
this.
also, am I wrong?
Mm.
I'm not. You would be mad as shit, but I'm not. So, Andor, and then you get the Andorians, and they're over here. They got their fluffy little, antennae.
Aw.
They're trying to learn shit, so they're out there reaching out and experiencing shit. So tell me I'm wrong about that. That's okay. I'm okay with being wrong. Also, I'm not wrong.
You can be anything you want. Anything, sweetheart. Anything you want. I like the little Andorians because they got the little things that move.
Oh, I'm 100% with you. Also, here's another thing with me. Let's remove all the Star Trek allegorism. Let's say it's a given. We have humans, Vulcans, the Andorites, and we have the Tellarites, right? Let's say we have those 4 creatures. But we also have one more. And let's not define that one more. Let's just say we have one more. What would you hope that one more would be?
Wow.
I think I got lost somewhere in your questions.
Beautiful blondes. I don't know.
So if we had one more race to add to the founders of the Federation, is that what you're asking?
No, I think if we were being honest, our founders of the Federation are kind of unified and they make a simplified, generic creation. Give me one more that's like, no, I have this one particular thing that really pisses me off, and we're going to have to talk about it before we agree to it.
I got one, a race of datas, only not Borg. Okay? Borg data.
Have you seen Picard season 1 yet, Sharon?
No, I refuse to get
You watched the first episode at my house, and then you said bye.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I don't want to bring anything into your house, Sarah, so I'll save that for a little bit later. But
there was time before the virus came out, honey. There was time before the virus came out.
Phone works both ways.
But there were years between all that. Picard.
Who else here loves Picard?
I didn't like the ending was bad, and what they did to Picard.
I will argue that against you.
I agree with you.
I don't think
the golem thing annoys me severely because it's a problem they put in there and then they solved themselves for their own means. It's like why?
They're
I
just
think they
doing
kind
a
of left
lot
it
of
open though, because
setting of the pieces. I think all.
Yeah,
that's
but
all
the thing that got me about the ending is it's like, oh, well, does that mean that John Luke is now going to be like super strong? Nope. Does it mean he's going to get an extension of life? Nope. Does it mean he's going to get any cool powers?
Well, yeah, it does mean he gets an extension of life because he.
I feel like in some ways it's putting the gun on the mantelpiece. So, yeah.
But at the same time,
we have put the gun on the mantelpiece.
Up there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
spoiler. I'm actually proud of all of you because you understand it to a level more than the general populace would. So you're taking it to a level higher, but at the same time, none of what you guys just said is true. Like, Picard will always be human. He is the most fucking definitive level of human.
Oh yeah,
sorry,
what
my daughter
what they did to the character though, like it was pointless.
Yeah,
that gets philosophical, but effectively, what makes you a human isn't your flesh, isn't your bones, isn't your muscle, isn't your sinew. It's your consciousness. That's held within your brain. That's it. So regardless of where that consciousness lies, effectively, you exist and you live. I think, therefore, I am.
Oh, the
aspect I love about that.
You're 100% correct, but also I 100% hate you because like that is so esoterical, and I don't even know who I'm talking to. I could just be talking to the fucking universe. But that fucking answer, man, like that answer should get you laid at every Bob Marley concert.
Because esoterics always got us laid. This would be completely different, but it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
No.
The thing I absolutely loved about the show was going back to Next Generation, and it was even prevalent in Emissary Part 1, where you saw him talking to Captain Sisko, at that point, Commander Sisko, giving him the duty assignment of Deep Space Nine, how entrenched into Starfleet Jean-Luc was, and then to see him in his retirement, and he was like, Starfleet let people down. What the hell?
Well, even before that, just seeing like what a career officer who gave everything to the uniform. He didn't have a family. I mean, he lost his family with having barely any connection to them, and he retired and he left, and you get to see what happened.
And it was a forced retirement too. It wasn't an elegant retirement. It was a forced retirement.
I guess regular life being retired would be boring, so they decided to ship him out again, right?
Go ahead, Justin.
So to speak, you know.
Well, that's the thing. It's not even a retirement, and that's the thing where I appreciate Star Trek Picard so much because, let's be honest, most of us, the argument is it Picard or Kirk? Honestly, like, do you like Picard or do you like Picard? But in the it's a very new season. I'll give it that. So it's still new, and it gets to like the last 3 episodes before it happens. But
in my humble opinion, Picard versus Kirk will punch. Picard will kiss. Okay, so
Picard never punched me.
Kirk
I still think the end of Picard is putting the gun on the mantelpiece.
Mm-hmm. I teared up at that final episode. I'm not going to spoil it for Cher because I think she wants to see it, but I almost was in full-blown tears.
Yeah,
Cher, what did I tell you at my house? This is going to be a really good show, and you said nope.
Hey, Cher,
they cobbled it together so quickly. I can't imagine it being a good show. Okay,
They
will be a good show.
They had their own time.
Yeah. One of the criticism I hate about Picard is when people complain about how dark the Federation is. It's like, have you not paid attention to anything from Star Trek? The Federation is ultimately horribly corrupt. It always has been since TNG. Have you ever seen an admiral that wasn't like a main character that wasn't, having to die in an episode because they were so evil? It's like the Federation is dark. Like the Federation is corrupt. Section 31.
You're 100%.
It's free.
100% right. But also, Hugh didn't deserve that death.
No, he did not.
No, he did not.
Oh my god. Neither did he.
Hugh deserves so much better. And I get if you were to put it on.
I think that was the whole point. Is it wasn't the death he deserved.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like,
if we all got our just desserts, this world would look very different.
But Hugh
it's so poignant because it happened the way it did. Because that was the story and putting the gun on the mantelpiece.
But that's also, Hugh is our guy, like, into their world. And I'm not saying into their world, I say into their world, like, 30 years before it's come to fruition, because we've known Hugh. We've known Hugh since the 1990s. Like, Hugh is our fucking dude. And then when they killed him, I'll give
that
you
was a knife in the back.
Yeah, exactly. At once, knife in the back, but also fucking good storytelling, and I'm mad at you, but also
putting a gun on the mantelpiece. There is a reason that it serves.
And I'll give you that, but also let me say this other thing. And I will say this from me and Steve. Steve is from, Paducah, Kentucky as well. And I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you guys know this, but 7 of 9, she kind of graduated from a high school from here. And she's kind of our bitch. Just let you know. I don't want you to feel, embarrassed. Like, yeah, she would suck our dick, but she wouldn't suck it. It's okay. It's all good. She's a phenomenal individual.
Russell, we're gonna talk later, dude.
Holy fucking shit! When they came over and Hugh, like in the new episodes, when Hugh died and Steve didn't. Holy fucking shit. That's what Star Trek was fucking about. It wasn't about this.
Okay, Greg wants to know how much money is in the Hooper Sarah jars right now. Because I
don't know who Sarah is. It doesn't matter.
Welcome to... we have a new person here. Welcome to Verlin a Little Light. Welcome to the...
welcome.
I would say the CS is After Dark, but it's turning into something that I didn't want it to turn into, so welcome.
All I'm saying is...
It's 1 o'clock here.
Steve, has anything ever turned 100% to plan, ever?
Not since you joined my show, you and Lisa.
Okay, Sarah, for you and me, it's 1 o'clock a.m. here. Anybody else? Is it different?
10 p.m.
I'm not
6
at that
a.m.
hour, but I'm close.
Midnight here.
But our difference is, it doesn't matter that we disagree with things. We all, and I will argue this, and if y'all disagree, fight me. I'm seriously, like, punch me in the face.
Jane, every
We
Thursday.
we all want a future where things are better.
Yes, absolutely.
Like,
I
things are
have to
seriously
have
better.
hope that
And
it's
if they're
better that we
not,
stop killing each other, that people,
exactly.
like, for my health, where it is better, where we have a better understanding. Yes, there's still going to be the darkness within all of us, because for every great and light and amazing thing, there's an equal and opposite, because that's the way
So-
things are.
We all have a
Exactly.
little bit of con in us.
The hope
besides
and
our
the
Starfleet
dream of
critic.
something better.
Exactly. We all, nothing's perfect right now, but we all have the idea that maybe we can work towards something perfect in the future. And that means maybe we're a part of something that's imperfect tomorrow.
And again, it still doesn't mean we 100% agree 100% of the time.
This
And
should
Because
that's our
if
God-given
you-
right as human beings, is to not agree with everybody 100% of the time.
Huh.
That's
Yeah,
the whole
but-
point
It
of
is
democracy.
impossible
Discourse is
to
good
make
so
everybody
Discourse is
100%
good for all.
happy 100% of the time. It doesn't work that way.
so Jane
Exactly.
down here. I'm gonna start muting. Go to your corner.
Oh, shit, she knew.
Jane Petrovich here. I met her in Louisville when I was doing the CS debate for the first time that I ran and lost. So, Jane, we do the Starfleet After Dark every Thursday, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we do an AMA on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to be doing one AMA on Sundays once a month for the international members, so they can be involved in it as well. So that's what we're doing.
The first casualty of any war is always, first and foremost, the battle plan. You have to be able to.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, your next future CS is Sarah Rosenzweig. She's getting ready.
Uh-oh.
God help us all.
My
Who
problem.
else has been paying
My,
attention to the Discovery's Season 3 trailers?
my personal problem with all of this is we allow ourselves to, we're like, oh, I agree with, Exhibit A, which in this particular case is, diatribe. But you shouldn't agree to it, because you're very intelligent individuals who deserve the chance to talk about something that's phenomenal. But instead of talking about that, you agree to something else, so now you're talking about fucking Exhibit
Because if
A.
you agree to one thing and then slowly, little by little, you're being torn off of that path.
You're right. Also, I love
And
you.
then
I
you
don't
come
know
to
who
the
you
statement,
are,
agree to
but I
disagree.
love you. Yeah.
So kind of like me, I had a plan, a path that I wanted to do as CS, and then I took office, and that plan went poof.
Yeah, we were never
And
gonna let you
and
know
then
with
shit
that.
happened.
We were gonna fuck with you. You gotta know with that.
I mean, if
Which
you want a
one
good
you got it
example
on,
of that,
Hooper?
remember what happened like when Season 1 of Discovery came out? Remember the comment section in the main group? Is the reason I left that is it was just absolutely disgusting. I mean, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Both sides were equally as bad. One
Yeah.
coming to defense, and then it's just like
The Klingons, they didn't know what they were. They were
Oh,
like,
I know,
we're
like,
this
I mean-
or we're that. They didn't know.
it's like this is as much as people maybe disagree or maybe not disagree. It's a fucking TV show, guys. I mean, come on, you can enjoy it. I mean, some people like Season 8 of Game of Thrones. I personally want to have the people who made it put in front of a wall. We all have different
With a
opinions.
battering ram.
Yeah, with a battering ram. It's like people need to realize that we live in a democracy, and as part of a democracy, you have to be open to the free market of ideas and being able to have discourse.
You can't 100% of the time agree with everyone. You can't.
Exactly.
It doesn't
Some
work that way.
Some people like their eggs, sunny side up. Some people like them, boiled. Either way, they're still,
They're still eggs at the end
still
of the
the
day.
same thing. Yeah.
Well,
And-
and,
There is information that shows twins who are identical twins. There are still differences genetically,
Okay,
minorly,
over there?
as well as in personality.
to be fair, though, that's where I'm at.
I mean, if you're a massive fan of Star Trek and you're in a Starfleet organization, then it would be very counterintuitive and very counterinstinctual to not be willing to give somebody the benefit of the doubt to give their ideas or to give their philosophy a try. It'd be the equivalent of Jean-Luc Picard showing up to, say, a planet, looking at their culture, and be like, "Yeah, no, that's shit.
Okay.
That would just be the mirror
Okay,
universe version of him.
You're like 100% right, but also I see through you, like everything you just said, cut to the core of us.
Does he always do this?
Yeah,
I've heard stories.
So,
everybody, this is Russell's fault.
Here's the thing with me. Here's the thing with me, and I say this as an individual. I'm looking
Russell, you're
at
muted.
potential, like we could cut each other. I would lose all of my encounters, adult encounters. Like I mean that. If you and me could say that one particular woman, and we're not saying we agree with that right now. We're just saying one particular woman. Me and you could agree to fight. I don't like that word, but that's what it is. Like you and me could fight with our encounters over that one woman. If you thought, and this is just you, I'm not saying anybody else would, I'm just saying you thought that her encounter would be a promiscuous invitation.
Blair.
So here we are. It's me and you. We have the potentiality to fight. What you do?
As far as one thing I can say, as far as all the Star Treks, personally, I love all Star Trek, but I will say this. I love each one differently. Like, I love Picard for different reasons that I love Discovery, for different reasons that I love any of the other.
100%. You're right. Yeah.
And a lot of times, the things I hate about a series, I haven't had anything.
Someone loves about it.
Yeah, and I haven't had that thing that I hate really be enough to make it where I don't watch it. Like, there's plenty of shows I've watched the pilot episode and can't stand it and move on. But I've never done that with a Trek show. And it's not just for the love of, like, I love Trek and I'm a Trekkie, but I actually do enjoy the shows. I love the characters that they write, and I think they've done a good job trying to keep the dream alive. But, you know, there have been some pitfalls with the original dream.
Always.
Yeah.
Compared to what it's the people in charge and the powers that be interpret now.
I mean,
like I've always said to people, the franchise as itself, we're in the 21st century. This is the year 2020. This is not 1966. The franchise as a whole needs to evolve and grow, not stay in a rut stagnant.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, there are some things they could improve on certain aspects that maybe they haphazardly did. But when you look at Discovery and Picard, there's some really good episodes. That Harry Mudd episode in Discovery is by far one of my favorite episodes of Star Trek.
Which one are you talking about?
The one where it's just continuous, like, reset, restart.
I love that episode. Yes,
that is a prime. That is TOS. That is pure TOS.
It is. That is. Yeah, that is a. We can still do
I've killed thousands of times, and I keep coming up with different ways of doing it.
I want to watch every single one of those times with Harry Mudd. But it's like people think just because something has the Star Trek label on it that they have to like or it has to appeal to them. There is so much Star Trek. There are so many series, so many movies, so many books.
Because there are so many different kinds of people, there is so many different kinds of Star Trek. There's a flavor for everyone.
So many uniforms. That's what gets me. I'm having a hard time keeping up. Where the hell's it going to end?
Never.
Does it have to, Sharon?
No, it doesn't.
It
I
doesn't
think the one that Russell is wearing is the most current iteration of Picard.
For perpetuity.
Except
I would
I'm wearing the wrong combat.
Past my death, it's still going, and maybe we can still have that hope for the better.
I'll stick with my TOS red dress. Thank you.
That is your favor. You are entitled to that chair. But
that's just my opinion. Yeah.
So tonight we were joined with Captain Robert Bing, USS Alabama, Captain Justin Fitzik, USS Star Kraken, Rear Admiral Slayer, Marine Captain Russell Camp, USS Battleborn, Sarah Rosenzweig, and Captain Hooper, who looks like he knocked his camera over.
You still forgot my rank and my position.
I don't know. Captain of the USS Avenger.
There you go.
You
I don't
call,
know
you
your
called
rank.
it the USS Alabama, but it's USS Alba. Alba means Scotland. I feel like my crew will probably have you disposed tomorrow when they wake up.
Sarah, what's your rank?
Captain.
Captain. Okay. Well, since you're married to an admiral who's the DTS officer, you would think you would get a little bit higher rank, but I guess not. So, everybody,
Hey, no cronyism.
for coming on. It was good to talk about the loss of our comrade. It was good to interact. And remember, we do this to try to get everybody's mind off the COVID-19. This is all supposed to be fun. Tune in Sunday for AMA with our international membership.
Anyone is welcome to send me a friend request on Facebook.
Yes, everybody. If you do not have this person on Facebook, right here, something's wrong because
Wow. Okay.
it sometimes can be fun, and then sometimes you can think, why the hell did I accept a friend request from this woman? Just saying. Her husband's watching too. Alec, always good to see you guys. All the people that's watching this, if you guys have not taken the time, go to the Commander Starfleet International 2020 Facebook page, like it. You'll get notifications when we go live. You'll also get notifications when I post anything there. Or you can go to YouTube, type in Steve Parmalee, click on the Commander Starfleet seal, and subscribe, and you guys will stay up to date. Want to thank Russell Camp for his first official, I guess you can say, episode being the associate producer. He's going to be helping me get this thing ironed out. Anybody that wants to come on, be a guest, please send a message to Russell. He'll get you on the calendar so we can have exactly people that's scheduled for these days. He will be sending out the invite. So just be looking for that if you guys want to come on. Next date will be this Sunday. We haven't come up with the time yet. We're still waiting for the rest of the voting to be finished up. Tuesdays are Ask Me Anything, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Thursdays is After Dark, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. Please keep in mind, I know some people wants me to do this earlier in the day. I do have a job. Starfleet does not pay my bills. If they did, I would love to get a paycheck from being a 5-star. Just saying, it'll never happen.
Their jobs get cashed him out.
Yeah, so unfortunately, my bill has come first, and this is the time frame I'm allotted. Now, remember, guys, this is not a requirement of the Commander of Starfleet. This is not something we have to do. I did this to try to interact with our members better.
And I appreciate you for doing that.
Thank you. All the commanders before us never actually went to this extent. So have patience and try to be a little more respectful because this is I take time out of my day after coming home working 14 hours while I could be spending time with my kids or other projects, which of course teenagers never want to be around their dad anyways because we're uncool. But my 9-year-old will be down here from the 22nd until July 2nd. So
Steve, can we see pictures of your beautiful children?
Yes, you can see pictures of my rotten kids. Hang on. Let me find a decent one. Ooh! Decent one. Wow, there's really no decent ones. Hang on.
I will say too, to add on to what Steve's saying, if there is anybody has an idea or
that's my daughter Natalie.
Please voice them. We just ask that you voice them and give us the opportunity to get the time to contact the people that need to be contacted and get them figured out and get a solution. A lot of times with some of this, it's going to be communications with a number of different members, and that takes time because, again, everybody in this is the same boat. We all have lives outside of this fan club. While we do love it, it's not our 100%, drive for the day. So,
but this is my daughter Natalie. This is my daughter Fiona, my 9-year-old. And let me go see if I can find a picture of my son. Hang on. Most of the pictures I have of my son are not something I want to be showing.
Steve, thank you for sharing.
I understand that.
You're welcome. You, Steve. Let's see here. I know I've got a decent one of my son. Hang on.
Greg, you're right.
Do I have a decent one? Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. This is my son Wesley.
Oh.
I have my son Wesley and my oldest daughter Natalie. They live with me full time.
Very
So
good.
I'm going to be having. He'll be in football next year. She's going to be in her junior year of high school. He's in 8th grade. My 9-year-old starts.
Oh, you've got it coming junior year in high school.
Yeah.
Hopefully that they let the sports come back.
Well, if not, I'm fine with that. It's less stuff I have to address.
I have 2 kids starting 6th grade middle school here in California next school term.
And this is my daughter is an ROTC cadet. This is her on her birthday.
Oh,
So-
color guard commander, huh?
Yep, she
Navy
had
or Air Force?
Navy.
Navy.
She had a color guard to get to, and since I got custody of her, I won't say a lot about what happened, but I didn't know she existed until she was 13. Something bad happened to her in life, and I got custody of her, and so we made this I guess you'd say ritual. Every birthday we go to Texas Roadhouse.
There it is.
Every birthday, and then after every homecoming dance, which usually lets out at midnight or 1, we go to the Waffle House, and we order the same things. It's been like that so far. So this kid
Good
here,
traditions. Good traditions with your kids.
if you have not ever met me, I'm a stubborn, bull-headed SOB. This kid here is the spitting image of me, but with long hair. I'm not even kidding. In her eyes, nobody's ever going to be good enough to date me. In her eyes, she threatened one of my exes and basically grabbed her by the arm, made her stood up, and walked her to the door, opened the door, and pushed her out.
Wow.
No way.
Oh yeah, we bump heads a lot. She thinks that my trek is a nerd brigade, but
She'll grow out of that.
after I got divorced, everybody's like, "Well, your life can't be that bad." I'll fill you in a little bit. When I got divorced, my 9-year-old was taken from me. I didn't get to see her for 5 months, and that was 4 days before Christmas.
Ooh.
So it was just me in the house. It was upsetting, traumatizing, and then I found out that I have this 13-year-old daughter who I've never met. And I was in a bucket truck when I finally got the first phone call that I could actually talk to her, because I got a letter stating, "Hey, you got a child in DCFS care in Colorado." I called. They said, this is what happened to her. I cried, and they said, "Well, you'll be able to talk to her on this date." Well, I was in a bucket truck, 30 feet in the air, working on that. At that time, I was in the cable industry. And she called me, and I started shaking. I started crying. She was crying. Turns out that her and her foster mom was Facebook stalking me, so she knew what I looked like, and I had a fit. So we went back and forth for court multiple times over, and on May 18th, 2017, I was granted full custody, and I drove out there June 2nd, the same year, to Meeker, Colorado, which is on the western side of the Colorado Rockies. 24 and a half hours. We drove it deadhead all the way there.
Oh,
And I brought this pain in the butt kid home. She, I'll just say this. If it wasn't for patience and alcohol, I probably would have gone to jail for murder. Because
alcohol is wonderful.
when you have kids, your parents tell you, it's like, "I can't wait for you to have kids and see how it's done to you 20 times over." Okay. I didn't get 20 times over. I got 1,000 times over. But at the end of the day, she's my rock. She's there when I need her. I'm there when she needs her. And she knows, and everybody that she's ever dated, I told him, I said, I will put a bullet in your head and I'll sit outside and wait for the cop if you hurt my daughter. I will rock the orange jumpsuit because nobody will mess with my kids anymore, especially what happened after what happened with her. I will climb through glass and fire if somebody hurt my kid, especially that oldest one. So please be patient when I say I am with my children. On Sundays, we have a ritual. We haven't gone to church in a while. We're going to be going back to church. But I do grocery shopping and laundry. And Sundays, I'm working 6 days a week, 14-hour shifts. Sundays, I like to hang out with my kids. So I will be doing.
And you need that time, Steve. So thank you for giving us.
I will be doing that one AMA a month on Sunday, and we'll get the time hammered out. So just remember when you guys
Hopefully you don't get too much backlash from your kids for taking that time away for that international AMA.
Oh, I get plenty of backlash. That kid, she tears me up daily. I mean, it's just how it is. But
That's her right as your kid.
you got to remember, guys. This is a fan organization. Nobody gets paid. Yes,
Nobody. We do this because we love
I
it.
understood what I was getting into when I ran for Starfleet Commander's Chief. I understood that. But
anyone
kids,
that ever decides, if my husband ever decides not to be DPS, Russell and I were talking about before the show, that's at least 4 people's job. What he does. He will disagree with me, but that's at least 4 people's job, if not more.
So that's one thing that the CS and VCS before that they got burned out is because they tried to take on more than it's a lot, guys. You think being Commander Starfleet is an easy job. It's not. I've got an aide de camp, I've got a chief of staff, and they stay busy. I had to put somebody on the help desk to answer the Commander Starfleet ticket so she could email me and say, hey, this was going on. I could shoot a quick email in. I've got tax issues. I've got I got investigations going on. I've got I got AB members resigning. I've got elections going on. Dude, it is a lot. So if I don't immediately answer you right away, now I do have an open door policy. But to the gentleman that sent me 37 messages yesterday in less than 41 minutes, dude, you need a life. I'm sorry. You got to calm down.
Holy shit.
I am fine with having and I told him, I said, hey, I'm working. I'll get with you when I get to my next stop. No. If you guys need to, you can reach out to my aide de camp. It's Antonio DeAngelis III. Add him on Facebook. He has a direct line to me as well. You can also reach out to Kevin Plummer. He's the chief of staff to the Commander of Starfleet. He has a direct line to me. These guys can help you. You can reach out to Russell Camp. He's the associate producer of the show. He can help you. If he can't, they'll get with me.
Or one of them.
Yeah, or one of them. But yeah, you guys got to remember, I know you guys are upset. You want it your way and you want it now. It's not going to happen. Okay, we are doing everything volunteer. We're doing the best we can. I am trying to include every member humanly possible. But remember, keep in mind, it is almost absolutely impossible to do every time zone at one time. And
a video for 24/7.
Everyone has a life.
Yeah, so
everyone has a life.
My life is Commander of Starfleet, and that's why when I got asked earlier this evening if I'm running for a second term, I will not be running for a second term. I'm going to fix everything that needs to be fixed when I leave office, and that's it.
And hopefully the new person doesn't screw it up.
What would you tell your incoming person, Steve? What would you tell them?
Or her.
Have scotch ready.
Scotch ready.
or your drink of choice.
Yeah, or your drink of choice, because there's going to be many nights that and I didn't even know how bad it was when Dan was like, you don't understand. They're doing this, they're doing this. I didn't even understand until I took office. I've been called a Nazi. I've been called, I had a member that called me a liar that I was not a fireman or a deputy. And I was actually interviewed by Alec Peters on Action when I was at the fire station in uniform next to the trucks. The guy still called me a liar.
The person who is always yelling negative is always louder than the person calmly.
Exactly.
You're doing really well.
So, it is what it is. I'm not gonna. People, I had somebody tell me the other day, like, well, you got elected, so you work for the members. I do. I understand that, but I don't have to tolerate you being a disrespectful.
Within reason, you work for the membership.
And if I tell you that if my kids talk to me the way this person talked to me, they'd have picked themselves up through a drywall. If I would have talked to my father like I got talked to the other day by this SFI member,
you wouldn't be sitting down for a week.
I'd have been in the hospital.
So let's just remember that be kind to each other, because we need kindness more than ever now.
Yes, we do, sir. I thoroughly agree with that.
It's supposed to be fun.
We're a fan club for a reason. This is not a real life organization.
Yeah, if you look at the members, if you look at the members only, and if you look at the business only section, you notice that there's not a lot of political BS going on. There's not a lot of bitching going on. There's not a lot of disrespecting going on, because I'm eliminating that as quickly as possible. I'm trying to weed out those people because, yes, this is an organization, but you know what? Cher has rights. Russell has rights. Sarah has rights. You guys have rights under the membership handbook. And if they're being violated,
Absolutely.
I take action. Now, I took action against a regional coordinator that was making up their own rules, was dictating, being rude, being disrespectful. I did investigation, and we launched her ass out of the organization.
So remember to be kind to each other. We need kindness now more than ever. If we believe that Star Trek is a hope and a better prayer for a better future, let's start treating each other like that and stop being. Just remember the golden rule. There's a reason it's the golden rule that you find it everywhere. Or in the immortal words of Will Wheaton, don't be a dick. Just kind. Kindness goes so far.
Every single day of every single week.
Because I'll tell you guys, for the ones that are commenting me and sending me private messages and being rude, you have no idea how bad I restrain from saying something disrespectful back. I had to put my phone down the other day and go to the back of my truck and punch the hell out of the cabinet because I'm the commander of Starfleet. I have to lead by example. I have to be respectful. I have to set the tone for the members to hopefully follow down the line. But I wanted to climb to this phone, and if I could have got a hold of this person, oh lordy, it would have been an ass.
I understand that. So I implore everyone.
Okay, and if you really, really, really need to have an answer, I mean,
there's other people to go to besides you.
Your people. I mean,
exactly.
I implore every last.
Ridiculous. You don't do that.
I implore every last person, no matter what your views are, be kind to each other.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what moment is your last.
Be kind.
One other thing to add on the questioning. If anyone has a question for the AMA and they don't believe that they will be able to make the Sunday AMA or the Tuesday AMA, please reach out to me. Send me the question. I will get them voiced on the air. All of our broadcasts are recorded and they are viewable for posterity on the Commander Starfleet's page.
And
so
YouTube.
You can come back and watch it, and if you want, I'll even give you the timestamp when your question's asked and when it's answered, so that you can go right to it if you wish.
Like they said, if you can't get a hold of me, I've got an excellent executive committee. We're very good. We work very well together. You can reach out to James Herring, the Vice Commander of Starfleet at vcs@sfi.org. He's very good at it. You can reach out to Jonathan Simmons Gumby. He's my chief of operations. He's answering emails. He's doing good. His email is ops@sfi.org. You can reach out to Tony Knops. He's really, really slammed with database stuff. So if you really don't need to bug him, I'd prefer you not to. But if you do, it's compops@sfi.org. You can reach out to Jeff Higdon. He's been in the organization 30 years. He can help you. If you get questions, he doesn't know it, he'll find out. His is comms@sfi.org. You reach out to Linda Olson. She's been in here for a long time. I've got a good EC staff here to answer questions, be the rock, be what you guys need to be. So if you can't get a hold of me, please don't blow me up that many times in less than an hour. Unless, if it's something that you're dying, you probably should not be calling the commander of Starfleet. You should probably be calling 911.
Regardless of the fact that you're a volunteer firefighter or not.
Yeah. If you call me and ask me, hey, what do you think about this? You're dumb. Call the cops. Don't call me.
And if you have a fire, call your local departments.
Yeah.
Kindness should never be a commodity. I can't tell you the number of times that because my husband and I were kind, people have gone out of their way to help us.
Russell, check the private chat.
Kindness matters. Kindness matters now more than ever before. Please, people, be kind to each other.
And be patient. Patience is a very good virtue to have.
Yeah.
Patience.
Sometimes it's
if you can be kind, you can be patient, and with all things.
Exactly, guys. Remember, we're all in this together. We're a family. I know you all look at like we can't be a family, but we all have the love for Star Trek. We all have the love for science fiction. At the end of the day, you guys are like family. I would take a call from any one of you guys if you needed to talk. We lost a member of our family today, so that it brings how important being kind to each other and being respectful it is. You've got to remember this. We are all in
What
this
do you
together.
want to be known for at the end of the day?
Exactly. I mean, you've got to, like hashtag We Are Starfleet. We are that together. So at the end of the
I may
day,
call you somebody names, but it's me cutting up. But at the end of the day, I will stand by someone.
Like Cooper was saying, he may disagree, we may disagree with each other, but deep down, we all are on the same side.
yeah.
We are all Starfleet.
That's right.
Here, I will even show an embarrassing photo of myself because here.
What Star
Is
Trek?
it clean? Is it clean?
Is this going to end the bromance?
Oh dear.
Coordinated. You're so coordinated. Look at that.
Oh,
So,
which daughter makes you wear that?
Me and my
You really
daughter
put that on there.
Me and my daughters, we had matching pajamas for Christmas. It was the Grinch bottoms and Grinch top.
I love it.
I am human. It shows. I'm a dad. So, like I said, everybody just be respectful. Remember, we lost a member of our family today. It's important to treat everybody with respect. It's important to be there for each other. Anybody that needs to talk, if they're having a hard time, they need somebody to talk to, my number is always open. I will even do one stupid thing that I've been told I am stupid for doing.
Oh, you're going to give us your phone number? Oh, God. Here we go.
No, he's going to give you mine. Watch.
Whichever number it is, just so I know I plug it into my phone.
Can I text you 37 times?
As long
You
as
won't
they
get an
can
answer
die.
immediately.
A 37 message of me complaining about the YouTube channel.
If you guys are out there and you have a problem, you need to talk, or you have questions, that is my number. Everybody's welcome to call me. I don't care. I'm not like the last CS or CS is before. I have an open door. People, if you need to contact and talk, by all means, give me a call.
Steve, I'll do you one as well.
What?
I'll put my number out there, and I'll be an open door if someone needs to talk.
It's 8675309. Just kidding. So, guys, thank you all for coming on. Remember, family's important. Follow the CDC rules. Wash your hands. I do not want to make another announcement about a Starfleet member passing away because of the stupid virus.
I don't want to hear another
I
one.
agree with that, Steve.
Be
Thank you.
smart. Thank you. We were joined tonight by Captain Robert Bing, Captain Justin Fetchek of the USS Starkraken.
Close enough.
Rear Admiral Shay Slayer, Marine Captain Russell Camp. I know I said it wrong again. Sorry, Slayer.
Just share. Just
Share.
share.
I'm glad I have a simple name.
That's hilarious.
Captain Sarah Rosenberg of the USS Avenger. Thank you guys. And again, as always, from the Commander of Starfleet, live long and prosper.
Live long.
Peace and long.